shit. Oh my god, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Just use a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here. Happy New Year! Woohoo! Oh. We're all here, I promise. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2021. Here we are. Anticlimactic, but there we go. Let's see here. So, let's just jump right into it. If you're new here, welcome. Definitely hit subscribe and hang out with us for a little while we talk Tesla. I'm Eric. That's David. Together, Derek. Boom. Cue animation. We don't have one yet. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the news. Decent amount to talk about tonight. Scrolling through it.
Yeah, another exciting week in Tesla world.
Yup. And real quick, can we appreciate David's camera's focus?
A little better than last week, I think, yeah. We have
switched to manual focus. It's not ideal, but it's gonna work. So yeah, we'll jump right into the news. Then we'll open it up and just chat with everybody. some good questions for you guys. So hang around for that because I want your opinion on a lot of stuff. Some cool stuff. So let's just jump right into it. Obviously, 2021. Welcome. Here we go. Referrals. Want to give a shout out to Joseph, Sean, Thomas, Alex. And, congratulations.
And by the way, Joseph and Sean are both locals. So,
locals.
Like we,
So there you go.
Yeah. We actually know who those are.
Yeah. Huge shout out to you guys. Thank you for using the referral code. And another congratulations to anyone who took delivery in 2020. Because of you, Tesla produced over 500,000 cars, but they only delivered 499,550.
So close.
So who canceled their order? Can we see some hands up in chat if you canceled your order because this is because of you? No, I'm just kidding. But hopefully it wasn't people that canceled because of a potential refresh coming up. Yikes.
That's still pretty.
Oh,
so that was
wrong button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came really close.
Extremely close.
And especially when you consider this year has been a crazy year to get that many deliveries and come close to 500,000. Amazing job.
Exactly. And kind of in line with that, Tesla has hit their all-time high price of $705.67. So if you are a Tesla shareholder, congratulations to you as well. This is quite a wild ride. So Tesla did a 5-to-1 split. So I did not math that out ahead of time. So basically, if this was pre-split,
Maybe almost 3,500 and
it'd be $35.25.
Yeah.
So that pre-split is just ridiculous. So I mean, this is pretty wild time. But there you have it. Tesla all-time high though. I definitely think we're gonna see a lot of big jumps coming up soon because it has been announced that China is going to start delivering Model Y in January, and rumor on the street is within the first 10 hours they had over 100,000 reservations from Chinese customers. The website even crashed. It was that nuts. They have pushed out a few of their Model Ys to some of the stores in China, and those stores were overrun. Mad run for Model Y in China. I think this is going to be huge, especially for 2021 delivery numbers. But overall, like the Chinese market, Model Y is going to be basically sold out through 2021, I think. At least.
Exactly. And later on in the year, we're expecting the Plaid refresh for the Model S, Model X. We're going to be seeing maybe the Cybertruck, hopefully by the end of the year. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some more news on the Semi coming out. I don't know if it'll be later this year, but I think we'll be getting a lot more Semis. We'll be seeing them on the road a few more.
Yeah, I am super excited for Cybertruck. I still am very hopeful that Tesla will be able to start delivering in 2021. Mind you, if it is the last week of December in 2021, it still counts. I want that to be known. But I'm hopeful for all that. But I really think getting everything in Shanghai ironed out like they have is going to be huge for their 2021 numbers. I don't want to jinx anything, but I could easily see 800,000 plus
deliveries.
Is that crazy of me to say? I don't want to jinx it.
I think it's possible, definitely with China coming online and with all the Ys, like you said, they'll be selling there, and the 3s as well. So definitely, I think that's possible.
Yeah, and if they can start exporting any of like the Model 3s that they might be able to overproduce in Shanghai, I think that'll really help too. Overall, I'm very excited going into 2021 for Tesla. There've been a few interesting things though we've noticed on, talking about Shanghai. World's largest supercharger.
Yeah, so the one in Fireball, California didn't last long as being the largest supercharger because they just opened one up in Shanghai with 72 supercharger stalls, which is insanely huge. It's amazing how many cars can charge there at once. And the cool thing is, like also during one day last week, I think they opened like 30-something new superchargers around the country. So they're really expanding it out. They're continuing to expand it in Europe and the United States as well, but it's just amazing to see what they're doing in China. But they're going to need it with all these Model Y and Model 3 orders there.
Exactly. And I mean, 72 superchargers at one location. I just don't even know. I've never even seen anything close to that. I think the biggest we've been to is what? 40?
You've been to like 40, yeah. And I haven't even been to that one. I think the largest I've been to was like 16. So that's huge.
Yeah, have you driven out to LA with me?
I haven't been out to the big ones out in California, or
Okay.
even the one in like Las Vegas. I haven't been to those. So
Okay.
yeah.
So somebody needs to go on some road trips. Yeah. But yeah, overall, super excited for Tesla in China. I think this is going to be massive for them. I think a lot of analysts are also predicting this going to be massive for them to have a really blowout 2021. Now, the one thing I actually do want to make very clear, they produced over 500,000 vehicles against everyone's saying no, they're never going to. Elon predicted this in 2014, and this was in the height of a pandemic. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that.
They had to shut the factory down for a couple of weeks, and they still managed to do some pretty good production numbers, and that's because they were able to bring China on, and that factory was able to keep going. You know, it's amazing. And by adding more factories in Texas and in Europe, it's going to just make it that much more resilient. So if there are future shutdowns, the other factories can keep on churning out cars.
Yeah. Penguin Play said he feels like this is being pre-recorded. It is not. I am still reading chat, but we normally deal with chat.
Yeah, we'll
after
get to
the
chat
news.
afterwards.
So
yeah.
I'll be taking questions and we'll talk about stuff afterwards. Also, on Tesla's website, there's a new compare feature. So if we jump over to their website, if you click on a model, whatever, and you kind of go like all the way down, there's a compare feature. And if you click on that, you can actually add different models. You can click on all these, and you can actually kind of see dollars and cents, your miles, your seats, your storage. It's kind of fun, and you can actually do this other stuff.
Some of those numbers, though, I just glanced at earlier, but I think like the numbers where it has for the cargo capacity of the Model S, I think that's with the seats folded, the folds up. If you fold the seats down, we know that there's a ton more room in the Model S.
Exactly.
And
so some of these numbers are a little, because Y says 68 cubic feet. I bet that's with down.
Yeah, so I don't think those numbers are accurate. This is the first version. They just rolled it out a few days ago.
Yeah.
I think they need to go through and make sure they're comparing apples to apples, and when they show those volume figures, they need to have the seats up or down or show both. Because as we know, we've done ball pit videos for all of the cars so far, and we know that the Model S has a ton of storage in there, and I think the Model Y did beat it slightly, but it wasn't. That makes it look like the Model Y has over twice the storage capacity. It's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, so like looking on the actual page here, it only says 28 cubic feet, but that's definitely with the seats up. It is a lot more with the seats down, and like Model Y is not 68 with the seats up. So I think there's a little improvement that we could potentially see on here. See, this says max cargo volume.
Yeah.
The other one did not say it, just said cargo.
So they need to fix it, but again, it's the first version. So if you're watching this, Tesla employees, please correct the data on the new compare feature.
Boom. You're welcome. Or if you want us to do it, hit me up.
Yeah, let me know.
But it is a cool compare feature. It's kind of fun to play around with. Just obviously keep a few things in mind. It's not 100%, but it is good to like see, especially if you want to compare kind of like the base and the performance. You can just see the big stats right there. Love it. Let's see, where are we next? So there have been more semi prototypes built at the Gigafactory in Nevada. We've been seeing more and more like of all this kind of going on.
Yeah, more. It was leaked out by like Gigafactory employees saying that there are some more Tesla semis being built there, and there also, if you go to the Tesla website, you can see there are actually some new job postings for the Gigafactory Nevada for semi production. So it looks like they might be doing some of that production there right in Nevada. Yeah,
and Cars on Night actually tweeted, "Scoop, there's 4 Tesla semis being built at Gigafactory Nevada. They will use the new higher density 2170s." Not the 4680s. There will be 3 packs in a row, each half as long as the Model S. 2 are being built for road testing, 1 for durability, and 1 they're sending up to their facility they have in Alaska for cold weather testing. Source does not know if Nevada or Texas will be the location of the assembly line yet, but they had guessed Texas. And I kind of agree with Texas for a little bit, but I honestly think semi might be better off in Nevada.
Yeah, well, it's interesting though, because why are they hiring in Nevada if they're going to build them in Texas?
True.
I don't know.
That's a good point. But There's been a lot coming up with this. It was found in the code that there's 10 cameras for the semi-truck, down from the original 26, which kind of blows my mind. 26 seems overkill to me. Same as vehicles, but extra side cameras. And so maybe additional cameras on the trailers? I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know if those extra 2 cameras would be on the trailers or if it's just because the semi itself would be longer if they would be on the semi. But if you're going to do autopilot with a semi, you'd think that the trailer would need some cameras on it as well so that it will know when it can safely do an auto lane change.
Exactly. So hopefully, I mean, that'd be interesting if Tesla actually goes into the trailer business as well. Because someone's going to have to outfit those trailers.
or just have add-on cameras.
True.
Because it would be easy enough to, like right now with some other like trucks, they have like wireless cameras you can slap on the back and then you can like see as if the trailer's not even there. So I could see Tesla maybe having something similar.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I never thought about that.
Just have to make sure they're properly calibrated, and if they disappear or fall off, then hey, no autopilot. But I think that's something they could definitely add.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. Weird. Anywho, next up we have charge limits have been increasing on older cars.
Yeah, basically with the new firmware that came out like last week around Christmas time, 2020.48.26, there are a few things which we'll talk about in the chat later on. Some people got some stuff they wanted, some people got some stuff that they really don't like with that update. But one thing that some people have noticed is people who have some older Model S's and X's who had done a lot of supercharging over the years, they noticed that their charge levels had been capped at superchargers, and while they may have originally been able to charge at like 130 kilowatts or even higher, now they've noticed that for the longest time they've only been able to charge like 90 or 100 kilowatts. With the latest update, some people are reporting that they're be able to see like 130, 140, even 155 at some V3 superchargers.
Yeah.
So that gives hope. We don't know if it was intentional or if somebody just removed a bit of code or accidentally left it out. So, but for a lot of those people though, they're like, hey, I'm charging as if my car is brand new again. So hopefully that stays out there. Hopefully Tesla figured out what was going on with the batteries and they're able to continue allowing that. The cool thing, as we've mentioned, all current cars are able to charge like the 250 kilowatts at a V3 supercharger if the battery's at the right temperature and you're at the right state of charge. Older cars are still seeing improved supercharging speeds as well. As we've mentioned with the 2017 Model S100D that we have, we've seen speeds as high as 187 kilowatts at a V3 supercharger. And when we first got the car, it was limited to like 120, then 130, then 150. And now we're getting almost 190, 200 kilowatts on an older car. So that's amazing that they're able to, turn that feature on and off with software, but we're able to still support that on older vehicles.
I just really like that because we bought the car fully expecting 120 for life, and now we're up to like almost 190.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a freebie.
And it doesn't stay that way throughout the charge, but it's
yeah.
It just helps make the whole charge that much faster, and you can get in and get out that much quicker.
Yeah, I agree. So let's see. Next up, it has been found. We'll talk about SNX refresh towards the end. We'll really kind of hash that out with you guys. But it has been found that in a new hardware 3.2 there is a selfie camera. So Green the Only, he does a lot of really good hacking into everything. There's this whole thread here, and it was talking about semi cameras, and then it jumped into there's no selfie cameras yet, but there's something called SXP2 with a hardware 3.2 that does have a selfie camera for SNX. So could that be something we're going to see January of 2021?
Maybe January.
Oh, wait, we're there. Yeah. Is that something we're going to see this month?
Maybe next week.
Yeah. So
what's interesting,
it's a good indicator.
Yeah, but it's interesting. We know what hardware 3 is. We don't know what 3.1 was, if it existed, but it's interesting to see 3.2 might be coming out. But basically, that's the camera that's above the rear view mirror that has been on the Model 3 and the Model Y since the beginning, but the S and X never got that. So it's not a huge increase, but if they're adding that, maybe they're adding some other features as well, because I don't see them just adding, one thing. So there's definitely other stuff coming to the car in the future.
Yeah. I mean, they were shut down for 18 days.
Yeah. Still shut down.
Still shut down. Oh, yeah. Isn't it shut down until like Monday?
It's a week from tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, so. Week from tomorrow. Holy crap. 18 days. Here we go, folks. Yeah. So let's see. I kind of want to see where we're at with this. Let's just jump right into the solar update. And then we'll kind of jump into some more talking with everybody, because I know some other people are going to be kind of triggered on some other stuff.
Yeah, we'll just do a quick update. But before we talk about our solar, I want to tell everybody out there who's considering solar, the good news is with like the COVID relief bill that just recently passed, they actually extended the 26% federal tax credit on the solar. It was set to go from 26% down to 22% right there at the beginning of 2021, but they've extended it for another 2 years. So all through 21 and 22, it will be that whole 26%. So that really helps reduce the price of your system. When we first put in solar, I think it was like 28 or 30%.
Yeah. Then
we put in the second one, I think we got the 26%. So it's nice. It helps you save a little bit of money. So definitely if you're still considering solar, don't worry about it. You can still get it.
Yeah.
But so we had our solar, again, we're at December. This is the last week of December, 1st of January. Not the best weather, shorter days. So we only averaged about 38 kilowatt hours per day, just over, I can't see the graph, but we got 200 something, 200, can you pull up the next graph? It's like 253 or something, what was it?
263.
So we averaged 38 kilowatt hours per day. Still not bad, but you know, we use a lot more than that. So, you know, we did not send more back to the grid than what we took from it this week. And for our annual production, for the year 2020, we produced 27 megawatts, which was 27,054 kilowatt hours, and we used 21,701, so that led to 125% energy offset. So we produced more than we used, and we sent more back to the grid than what we used. So it's nice, and that's with 3 or 4 Teslas in the garage. That it's amazing. We have a large system, we're able to do that. But again, we did have some reduced usage this year just because I haven't been doing as much driving in my Model S. So what else has changed? Oh, also, if you look at the spreadsheet that we have for the year, we still ended up with over 4,000 kilowatt hours surplus, just what we produced, and that's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, so here you can, all this light green, here, let me, can I make this any bigger?
Try Control Plus.
Control Plus. I don't got nothing.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, this green area right up here, that is our balance. This is our bank that basically we have been storing on the grid, and then we can pull from as we have been. So as you can see, kind of in the winter when we're not producing as much as in the summer and we need to draw a little bit, that's kind of this decline here, but you can still see we have a very healthy bank right here. You can see our peak solar obviously throughout the summer months, and you can see the black line is to the grid. It mimics basically our solar.
Not as much output to the grid in December. We actually used about 1,000 kilowatt hours more from the grid than what we sent back. So definitely we took away from that credit. We had like 5,000 kilowatt hours in our credit. It's gone down to like 4,000, but that should be going down to about 3,000 in January, maybe 2,000 in February, but then we should start back up in March again and be producing more than what we're actually using, and we'll still have a surplus.
We should get through till March without having to actually pay an electric bill.
Yeah.
So that is all that matters. That is our big concern. But I think some of these numbers that I kind of just want to go over here, we produced 27 megawatts.
Yep.
A long-range Model S and X have 100 kilowatt hour pack in them. To put that into perspective. So we could have charged, I'm terrible with math, what, 270 cars? Full charges?
Isn't it 27 or 2,700?
2,700. Okay. Very bad with math.
Unless I'm going bad. Yeah.
Math. Somebody in chat, can we please do that?
Well, I think you might. I don't know.
27,000. Yeah. I think that's 2,700. Anywho, we could have charged a ton of Teslas.
No, 275. You're right. I was thinking wrong.
Okay, it is.
But basically, that's charging them from 0 to 100%.
Exactly.
Every day, 275 days or whatever.
Which
but basically, we're powering our
that.
house, we're powering our cars, and we had a surplus for the year, and that was driving all of our cars, however many thousands of miles. We did several road trips, even one in December. So yeah, it's pretty impressive though.
And the great thing is our solar is bringing all this. The lights, Powerwall.
Yeah, we run
the computers, the cameras, everything.
We're still running the house on the power walls on the time-based control on the balance mode. So our power walls are pretty much powering the house almost all the day. Only time we really pull from the grid substantially is like from 3 a.m. to maybe 6 a.m. But other than that, our house is pretty much powered by the power walls. And again, we don't have any gas bills because we only
Yeah.
have Teslas, so we only have electric vehicles, and the solar's all paid for. So we're set for, the next 25, 30 years. We don't have to worry about electricity, hopefully.
Super, super happy we got the solar. 2020 was basically the year where we were able to have the current whole systems up. We still have a video. Everything has been officially turned on and everything. We have it
Yeah,
on
and we'll do a
early.
follow-up video later in
but-
January because we did
yeah.
have some problems, not with Tesla Solar, but with our electric company. And we had an outage where like the power poles blew down. That didn't really bother us too much because we have solar and we were able to stay self-powered even though all the power lines in the neighborhood were down. But we'll have a detailed video coming up about our 2020 solar history as well. We'll probably talk about our 2019 as well, just what we've done so far with our solar production. One interesting thing that did change, which I didn't really get, it was kind of a surprise, but we got a letter in the mail on December 31st from our electric company saying that time of use hours were changing. And that was a surprise to me because they had sent out something a few months ago saying that time of use, which is basically when they charge you for electricity different amounts at different times of the day. And since we put in, we put in a time of use about the same time we got solar, actually before we got solar, just because we knew that we were going to be able to change our usage with solar. But basically, they had announced a couple months ago that they're going to put everybody in the state on time of use, but that's not coming for another year or so. But I got a letter in the mail on Friday saying, hey, we're switching your time of use hours effective tomorrow. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of a surprise. But in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. It's kind of bad for us because previously we were able to export 12 hours a day were either peak or part peak from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. But in the middle there, from 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. was a peak period. And it's good for us because we're able to export so much solar throughout those daylight hours and then power the house just using the cheap power either from solar or from we take from the grid at night. But the problem is now they've cut the time of use peak periods and solar part peak periods down to just 6 hours a day. So instead of being 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., it's only going to be from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. So it's only 6 hours. So it's still good. We're able to export and get those extra credits because whenever we send back to the grid, we earn credits at whatever they would have charged us at. But the problem is now we're only going to get that extra credits for 6 hours a day instead of 12. And for people who've spent a lot of money installing their systems, it might affect their return on investment. But we're glad we still did it. But it's just I think it's a way they're going to start easing other customers into time of use now, and they didn't want to have the 12 hours, so they're making it a little easier on new people. But for existing people who had already planned for it, it's a little bit of a downer.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm seeing Xpeng Fangirl talking in chat a little bit, saying solar is great for desert countries like California state, not Texas. It will rain there. Well, I mean, we're in Colorado. We get rain. We do get a lot of sunny days,
Yeah.
but we get snow. This is in Colorado where we're getting snow covering the panels and everything. We're still doing really well. I think Texas would be a great location
Texas would still be good, yeah.
for solar.
Yeah. I mean, any place like Canada is going to be a little worse just because the days are, they're further
They're
north.
up so north, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they get a lot more snow and moisture up there. Seattle maybe not as good as New Mexico or something like that, but it's still good. But the return on investment will definitely be better the drier it is or the further south you are.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, even with snow, we're still doing really good with our production, and we still have our little snow rake. So we go in, if we have a lot of snow still on the panels, usually we have sun the next day. It doesn't stay cloudy here too long, so we can just pull a little bit of snow off, and the rest will slide off, and we can be producing, 75% solar within a day of a snowstorm.
Yeah. Long story short, we love it.
We still have our solar.
If we could get more, I would and become a electric company basically, but unfortunately they don't allow that. So that basically ends it for the bulk of the news in the solar update. So if you would like, you can remove your seatbelt.
Oh yes.
Some people were asking about that.
Safety first. We always
safety
have
first during the news because
like-
things can get a little heated.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's go ahead. I wanted to open this up. This might trigger some people, but here we go. Latest firmware update, the 2020.48.26. Let's kind of chat about it a little bit. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people think the font is too small. As a 3 and a Y owner, I don't like how the battery is now gray instead of how your charge level is. I don't like that. I wish it was green again.
I think one of the biggest complaints, besides the size of the font and how they move things around, was the pedestrian, the boombox feature.
Yes.
Basically, Elon was saying how this is going to be double, fire or whatever, really hot update. But a majority of people didn't actually get that boombox feature because you had to have already have a vehicle that had a pedestrian warning system speaker installed, and that limits it to like Model 3 and Model Ys just from the last couple of months. If you had an older Y from like June through August of last year, you didn't get that feature. If you had an S or X from before those months, you didn't get the feature. So the vast majority of cars didn't get that feature. I mean, if you look at Tesla's delivered over 1 million vehicles, 1 point whatever million vehicles, probably 80% of them didn't get that.
Exactly, and that
Maybe
was kind
50%,
of like
but
the fun thing, and that was
yeah.
what we really wanted. We installed the speaker, still doesn't work.
So check that out. We did
yeah.
a video like a week or so back when we installed the speaker in the Model Y. It makes the pedestrian warning system sounds going forward reverse, but it does not have the boombox feature. And a lot of people have tweeted Elon, and he said, well, we'll look into it, see if it's possible. Hopefully it's just a software fix where they can push it out because all the hardware is there. They just need to enable it. But again, what is everybody's opinions of the latest release? Because I know I haven't driven mine much, but I noticed the font's a lot smaller. I can still read it, but I can definitely see why some people would complain because a lot of the, like where the drive, like showing what gear you're in, a lot smaller. The clock, everything is smaller.
Yeah, I mean, I love the new UI look. I like not having the things kind of on the bottom. I'm talking about 3 and Y, obviously. The maps took a hit on size. I know a lot of people aren't very happy with that.
Based on the 3 and the Y, on the X and S, fortunately, not a change there.
Exactly. But I will say on the second screen in front of the driver, the instrument cluster for the S and X, it still feels... It doesn't just feel like that much change.
It looks a lot cheaper.
Exactly,
I don't know the word is
exactly.
cheaper, but if you look at how the instrument cluster was for the last couple of years, when they've, how the icons were displayed and the shading, the gradient colors, it was the speedometer was a lot bigger, and it just looked a lot nicer. Now it looks like they threw all that and they just put the icons up at the top and they're in a straight line. You can tell they're getting ready for the full self-driving features, and you're not going to need all that so much more. But they didn't release any of that. They kind of put in they changed the icons, but they didn't give us the visualizations showing the streets and all the other vehicles that it's sensing. So it's kind of, they shouldn't have released the feature half baked. If you don't have all the features, it doesn't really make sense to release this.
And that's kind of how I feel. I feel like this update was supposed to include a lot more. Things just got a little too buggy, and they kind of downgraded it so that they could send it out.
Yeah,
that's kind of the feeling I got. Hopefully I'm wrong.
And Elon did say,
but I still think like a new UI or more stuff's coming.
But Elon did say he, 2 fire emojis, and then he cut it down. He's like, okay, maybe it's only 1 or half of 1, but we ran out of time. So I understand they had the intention to push more out there, but unfortunately it wasn't as good. But they got it out there. I'm sure the next release will be a lot better later in January.
Fingers crossed. Abstract Oceans in chat, claps, thank you. Said font's a little too small. Agree with. Regen is barely visible. Yeah, it's like
that
one
little line. It's like
tall.
1 pixel tall on the 3 and the Y.
Give us a few pixel tall regen line. It's not going to take up that much room. Agree. Lots of wasted space. Agreed. Until FSD comes out of beta. Would love to have the rear view camera as one of the slidable windows under the car display. That would be nice too.
We noticed when we went in the reverse, when I backed the Y out of the car or the garage yesterday, I couldn't believe how much smaller the screen was.
For the rear camera.
Yeah. It's just like, especially when you're in reverse, I don't need to see the whole preview of the car over on the left with visualizations because I'm just going out of the garage, and I'm not on autopilot, so why can't I have a bigger screen?
And see, one thing I would absolutely love is if you could press where the car layout is and the map,
drag it,
and you could resize it.
Yeah. And Elon did,
that would be really nice.
Elon, I think, did send a tweet, and they had a couple, 6 different diagrams showing how it could be different sizes. But like you said, why not just make it draggable?
Yeah.
Like you can do that, and it's been around, responsive design has been around for years now on web browsers. They should do the same so you can resize it. So you can, what's important to you, you can make bigger or smaller.
100%.
And, like the fonts. It would also be nice too if they had more distinct fonts. Because some people have, it seems like Tesla really likes gray, and I like color gray. But when you put gray on gray, it's not that easy to see. And we noticed today, when you had it in Drive on the Y, you could barely see that the D was highlighted, and then until you put it in autopilot, and then it changed it to blue. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just yeah, the color choices don't make it easy. And when we've seen in the past with the release notes, it's gray on gray or dark gray on black. It's just, I don't think they're thinking this through. As a lot of people point out, maybe their designers are using, you know, big screen monitors, and their eyes are a lot younger than the typical Tesla owner. But they should do some usability testing, I think.
Steve V said, "Preach, brother David." I need to get like the what is that? I'll figure it out in a minute. I need to get an overlay because there would be some funny rants going on. But real quick, speaking about new cars, I feel this is a great segue. So Abstract Ocean got their new Model 3 2021. And they have a brand new product that I absolutely can't wait for. So I just want to give this quick shout out. They now have dash wraps or center console wraps for the 2021s here. And they're actually $25 until January 7th, and we'll ship the 8th, pinky promise. But they have all kinds of really cool colors. So if you have one of the brand new 2021 Model 3s or soon to be Model Y, I imagine it's going to be there soon, you can wrap that and have it looking pretty spiffy. Super excited for that. And I can't wait to actually put that in one of my cars. Wink. I don't know. We'll see if anyone caught on to that. But yeah, that's basically it for the triggering news. Now, I saw some talk about the S and X refresh. So, basically, a while back, we talked about should we gamble $100 and reserve a new S
Just in case.
just in case. Well, we did it. There'll be a video on that Tuesday explaining what we did, what happened. But we did reserve another Model S, hoping that we can kind of lock in the previous pricing schedule that they have going on.
Yeah, just because we've seen
yeah.
in Europe last month they raised the price by like €5,000 or £5,000, I don't remember which, but it was a pretty substantial price increase. And so just to kind of protect against a potential price increase in the United States, we went ahead and did that pre-order. It's possible they're not going to change, but that doesn't really make sense why they would increase it only for Europe.
Yeah. So I know everyone in chat last time said don't do it, but I did it. Sorry. I love you, chat, but I had to. Real quick, Jeff, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said, any guesses on when we can get HEPA in Model Y in Canada? Well, currently, the only way you can get HEPA is, in a Model Y, I should clarify, is through Shanghai. Getting a Chinese-built Model Y. Now, same thing, they have new door interior. They are having heated steering wheels. That being said, that's got to be coming to the U.S., right?
I would think so. Yeah, there's been...
I mean, I don't see how they cannot.
There's been several changes. Did you mention the door, how the door changed as well?
Yeah, they have... Let me try to find the picture.
But basically...
But they have, like, new door trim.
Which was interesting, because I know that... I don't know so much about the wood, or when you have white, it can be a problem. But so it's interesting that now they've made it even bigger and added it to the doors.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a photo... Not as easy as I would have expected. Let me actually just jump on Twitter.
But yes, it'll be interesting if we see that change makes it to the U.S. version. But I would think it would, because I don't think they would make it different.
Yeah. Let me grab this real quick. Hold on. Stand by. Stand by. I'm trying.
Copy.
Why is this so hard? I'm trying. Whoa! It is not
know.
trying to. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm working on the photo. I need to open it here. Ooh, wrong keyboard.
Yeah,
Here we go.
There we go.
So, here we go. This is from Jay in Shanghai. If you don't follow him, please drop him a follow on Twitter. He has helped me out countless times while I was in Shanghai. Anywho, so, US made Model 3. You know, it still looks dope. Now, China Model 3 and Model Y now have like this little door trim here. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I don't care for it. I don't like it. I like the smooth, like, sleek look of this. This just looks a little busy for me. That's okay. But there's that. Now, for Model Y, they only are offering the wood dash and the wood insert right here. There is no white option
Oh, really? Oh, in
for
China. Yeah.
Shanghai Model Y. I'm sure there will be. My guess would be the white option is just it's taking a little bit longer to produce or whatever, and they just want to get it out. But for now, if you want white, you'd have to get the 3 versus a Y.
And that's the same thing we saw here when the Y came out in the United States.
Yeah, they streamlined it a
and
little bit.
Even the 3, you didn't get that white interior initially. Remember, we bought the first Model Y that we got here back in, March of last year. It had the black interior.
Yeah.
But then we got the white interior with the one that we got in June.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some differences, but I'd have to say those are going to have to be coming over. Now, the question I'm getting is, can you retrofit a Model 3 heated steering wheel? Can you put it on a Model 3 or Y, and will it work? My guess is going to be no, because I don't think it's going to pop up on the center screen to turn it on. That being said, I'm getting a heated steering wheel, and we are going to put it in the car, and we are going to see if it works. But don't hold your breath, because to me, I don't think it's going to work. I'm just warning you guys now. Real quick, though, I don't think the super chat message went off. There it goes.
Yep.
Thank you. Lex, for the $7 super chat, said, do you think the Cybertruck is more delayed than they said? I honestly think we're going to see it in 2021 still. Call me crazy.
Hopefully, even if it's
but I
just
think we
really limited production, hopefully they'll have it ready by the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hopefully.
I mean, and I could see,
Fingers crossed.
like December, they're really good at having December unveilings, and they didn't have one last year, of course, but we've been to events in 2019, 2018, stuff like that in December. So hopefully we'll be doing a Cybertruck one in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Abstract Ocean said, SNX refresh, no smoke without fire. Things are getting a bit too noisy now. And Elon's wink on Twitter alluded to the refresh. I agree. And I honestly, now that I read the letter he sent to employees about the SNX lines being down for 18 days, if you read that letter, he says, we hope this time will allow you to refresh with your family or something like that. I think there are hints. Anyway, lack of focus on dual screen UI and SNX indicate landscape screen. Hopefully they still have that second screen. Maybe it's more tied in. It would be nice. It would be a bummer to lose that second screen, because then I think the SNX become too much like the 3 on the Y.
Yeah, and one thing I really like about the second screen is you can put whatever you want up there, and you can still have like the navigation or something else available on the center screen. So even if they do get the landscape screen, which is definitely something we've heard of that's coming, it would still be nice if you could have like the energy graph on the instrument cluster and have like the maps over there or your media there. So yeah, what's interesting too is Elon mentioned. He mentioned, we were talking earlier about how the screen, is showing too much of the visualization and not as much of the maps on the screen. But Elon was saying too, some of the games in the latest update you can actually play while the car is driving.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if they make the screen, the playable area of the screen is going to be really small, and so
and all the way to the right side.
Yeah. So that's supposed to be for the passenger, of course. So you don't want the driver to be doing that. I know I'm jumping away from the refresh, but get back to the refresh stuff, because we think there's going to be a few other changes with the refresh as well. But maybe we'll have the model, like the ventilation of the Model 3 and the Model Y. Maybe.
I would hope so. I definitely think the horizontal screen is kind of a must at this point.
I definitely is good, because whenever we're supercharging, we can pull up Netflix or YouTube or something like that. It's nice. The format is much better than on the S and X, because the screen, when it's vertical, you get a much smaller video display. So there's some things it's better to have the vertical screen, but for supercharging, when you're watching those videos, it's much better to have the horizontal screen.
Oh, Abstract Ocean said maybe a HUD. An SNX.
We thought about that. We've wanted that for years.
If they did heads-up display
then they
instead
wouldn't
of
need
the second screen,
exactly.
would you be okay with that?
Yeah, that's something we've been talking about for years. Or I keep throwing this out there like for years, but I know some other cars have like night vision, and while you don't need night vision if the car's doing the driving, it would still be nice if they did have a heads-up display, they could do symbols, if it senses a deer or a person or something. But now we've seen recently with the visualizations, they can put that on the screen, so maybe they could incorporate that so that maybe they don't need night vision anymore if the car could sense that and display it there.
Yeah, they did say too they hired a heads-up display expert a couple of years ago. No idea if he's still with Tesla, but I mean, we've been wanting a heads-up display again and again and again, and I know there's aftermarket. options. I've reviewed some.
They didn't-
One of the
they
ones I
were-
reviewed, the company went out of business, not
Yeah.
because of me. Just
They left a
stuff.
lot to be
But
desired
I
from what we've
don't
seen.
like that sitting on my dash. It just doesn't look attractive to me. I want to incorporate it into the dash. So that's what it
And
is.
we've seen some other companies like for the 3 and Y, they're bringing out like a second display, and I'm sure they if Tesla didn't have that somebody would come out with one for the S and X, but it'd be nice if it's just more integrated, as Eric said.
100%.
'Cause if
Let's
another
see.
company can do it for a few $100s, Tesla should be able to do it for less.
Exactly. Let's see. Just be nice in chat. Let's not start calling people names. We don't need to drop the ban hammer. Let's see. Michael said, "What do you think Elon will have the revised version of the truck? And do you think he might bust out the refresh Model S at the same time?" I think we're going to see refresh Model S before the revised version of the of the Cybertruck. Opinion. Let's see though. Jeff with a $5 super chat. Really appreciate that again, Jeff. Said, when you guys got into Tesla for the first time and went fast and around corners, what were your first thoughts and impressions? Take my money. That was me. What do you think?
Oh yeah, remember?
Although he doesn't like speed like I like speed.
Yeah, but I remember though that first test drive we
Yeah.
did. That was like a roller coaster.
In a secret location several years ago.
But it just felt like
statute of limitations has gone.
Yeah, but it felt like a roller coaster, and I don't. That was a performance test, and now
It's even faster.
cars are even the non-performance ones are faster than that. So it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I love the speed. I love roller coasters. I love all that. I love going fast. And I was hooked, to be honest. I think the biggest thing for me though is it broke the idea of EVs being slow. Because a lot of EVs before that were very slow to get up to 60. And very slow, like you really couldn't overtake vehicles or anything. They were just very slow, and Tesla broke that.
Or they looked like jelly beans or something like
true.
that, or they were pretty, or like ladybugs or something. They were just pretty like odd-looking vehicles and slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that Tesla changed that.
Yep. James with the $5 super chat said, "I received my shorts on Christmas, my shorts, and surprise empty box. Have you heard of any similar stories? Try to reach out to Tesla. It's like pulling teeth." Yikes. I've never heard that. Did you try, I mean, you probably did, but did you try the email address for the shop? Because it's a different email address. I've reached out to them and I've always gotten a response in like 2 to 3 days. Maybe because of the holidays, but hopefully you get a response because that sucks. That would have been a fun thing to run around in on Christmas. But thank you for the $5. And John with the 20. I didn't get to close my ears that time.
Happy New Year. Thanks, John.
Thank you, John, for the $20 super chat. Said, "I finally got my friend Don to ride in my Model Y Performance. He drives a Nissan GTR. Respectable. Took him on the freeway, slammed his head into the back of the seat multiple times. 0 to 60, he was impressed. No noises."
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, Nissan GTRs, no lie,
Yeah.
they're nice. But you can't compete with that no lag, 100% torque
And it's
Tesla
so
has.
and it's so quiet. Like
Yeah.
we just had the discussion like yesterday when we were going on an on ramp or something. And the car next to us is a pickup truck, and it is just so loud, just trying to get up to speed, and it was so slow, and we could just boop fly right by them.
Yeah.
And no noise. It's like, yeah, it's amazing how much better electric cars versus gas. Yes.
Yep. So, awesome. Hopefully your friend can ditch the GTR and pick up a Model 3 Performance or something similar. But awesome. I can't tell you, I mean, obviously this is pre-COVID. I can't tell you how many times I had non-Tesla owners in my car, showed them what it can do, and all of a sudden, more Teslas
We've given a
appear.
lot of test drives. Yeah, a lot of people.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially like what I find funny is a lot of non-performance owners. I'd give them a ride in a Performance, and all of a sudden their car's up for sale and they're taking delivery of a Performance.
Mm-hmm.
But even the non-performance Teslas are crazy fast. So it's quite fun. But glad to hear that. Thank you so much for the 20, John. Longtime supporter of the channel. Anyone who doesn't know John, so really appreciate him.
He's a regular.
Let's see. Jameson said HRU. What does that mean?
How are you?
Oh, wow. I am crazy.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. 2021. Here we go. It was pretty low-key 2021 or New Year. We just hung out at home. Let's see.
It's funny too. I see
Lee
like
Child actually said my 2021 Model S doesn't have tire monitoring. I can't find it.
Yeah.
So it's just on the scroll wheel. Which scroll wheel
the left
for the
one.
tire pressure?
I think, or actually, you might be able to do that on either one, but you just put it on like, I don't remember if it's car status or something, but if you push in the left scroll wheel, that's where I have it, and then you scroll through, there's one of them, there's like navigation, then one of them's like car information or something like that, or car status, and that will bring up where you can see the air pressure. And you do have to drive for a little bit before it will be populated, but you'll see a picture of the car, and it will have dashes until it figures out
about
the air
60
pressure.
seconds you have to drive, so
it's there.
Yeah. What were you going to say, though? Sorry.
I was just saying, we were just talking about the performance, and somebody was talking about a V8, and he will never buy a Tesla. But remember when we were up at the Custer supercharger, and some guy came over, and it was a local, and he didn't understand Teslas, and he's like, but what about sports guys? What about the noise? And it's like, yeah, we don't care about that at all. You don't need noise to have a highly performing car. Imagine, we don't need that. And we've never missed it because we didn't grow up with that. I know some people back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe that's what they expect to have, but we don't need that.
Yeah. Lex with another $7 super chat. Sorry for my auto spell. I mean, you're good. We got you. I think you said delayed, then the blank said, because it said Rigelda. I am. Just let me know in regular chat what it is supposed to mean. You don't have to keep donating. I appreciate it, but you're good. Don't worry, we got you. Let's see. Rob said New Year's resolution suggestions, no secrets, right, Diego? Okay. If I tell them, does it cancel it out?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's not like a birthday wish
No.
where if I say the wish, it's...
No.
Okay, good.
I think you're safe.
My New Year's resolution is a little financial related, and I want to double my net worth in 2021.
Wow.
At least. If I can do more than double, obviously yes, but I want to at least double it. That's my goal.
That's a pretty...
And obviously to buy more Teslas.
It's pretty, I mean, I'll have to admit, I had some Tesla that I had bought many years ago. I actually sold it earlier in 2019, just when everything was tanking, but I bought a bunch back in later in the summer. That I've made more, well, I haven't made it yet because I haven't sold that stock yet, but it's now worth more than what I made in my regular job. Just within a couple of months, I made more than what I've made in like a year at my regular job. So what Eric's goal to, double his net worth is possible if you, you have to have a little bit of money to get started, but also you have to have a stock like Tesla that actually performs that way, because hopefully it won't drop. I know that we'll probably see some drops here and there. It doesn't go up all the time, but I think once they do have that fourth quarter meeting later in January, I think it's gonna go up even more.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see Tesla skyrocketing a lot, but I've dabbled in some other stocks, some crypto, but that's my goal. I don't know. Do you have any other big goals for 2021?
I don't know yet. I guess I haven't thought about it much. I just want to get through the year. So.
You know what? I'm down with that too. I just want to get through the year. I want to have a better year. I want to be able to hang out with family and friends and take a vacation safely.
Yeah, vacation would be
and not
nice.
have to worry about anything.
Yep. It's been a while. We didn't do into what? I don't know. We didn't go on any vacation.
Yeah.
Not any. Well, we did a couple road trips and stuff, but nothing huge.
Yeah. Time out. I don't know how much that is.
I'm checking, but I don't know. But you could just go on.
I'm waiting for that to hit. It's yellow though. Holy crap. What does yellow mean? Yellow.
7.
Yellow means a lot.
No, it said 7. I think. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know how much it
Anyway,
is.
Michael, thank you for the
Well, guess what? It sounds big. We don't know.
200.
We don't know what currency that is, but hey, it sounds big, so thanks.
He's in Taiwan, I believe.
Well, it might be $7 then, but hey, it looked big.
You know what? Totally fine.
It's the new year. That's what I said. If it's Taiwan, it's like $7.
Thoughts on if Elon is sandbagging the Model S Plaid delivery of Q4 2021? He's done it to the Y, avoiding the Osborne effect by under-promising and over-delivering. You know what?
That's what we're
I would
hoping
lie
for.
to say if I don't agree with you, because I do. I think he is a little bit. I don't think the battery is ready to go yet.
At least not for mass production.
At least not for mass production. But you know what? If they did a limited run say they only do. I mean, if they do a limited run, you know those cars are going to be sold aftermarket for crazy high prices. But I mean, what if they just did like 200 Plaid S's a month?
Yeah.
I mean, something really kind of limited, and they might be able to sell them for a lot more higher premium. I think we're there. I think the motors, since that tends to be a little bit easier to manufacture than whole new battery packs, I don't think there'll be a problem with that. I really think the batteries would probably be the biggest holdup. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, we can do 200 a month or something. I think that would be a good idea.
And it'd be interesting to see. We don't know if they're
Thank you for the super chat, though.
Yeah, thanks. But we don't know if it's going to come out all at once or if they're just going to do it gradually again. Because it could be, if it's not a major change, maybe they'll change the interior the first quarter. Maybe they'll change a little bit of the exterior the second quarter. Then the third quarter could be, the battery. We don't know. But it'd be nice if they just released it all at once, though. Because then I think they would get really good stimulus, for sales, big demand lever if they had all the changes all at once. And then also they're going to have reduced that the people who buy and then find out a week later they're like, oh, I should have waited, and then could have gotten a much, all the changes.
Yeah,
it always happens. But
it always does. But I mean, I think that is a great idea for them to do something like that, is create a limited number of Plaid S's and release like 200 a month at a very high price point, and that could help generate some more income, and we love that.
And we kind of saw when they came out with like the performance Model S with the 100 battery.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only car that had the 100 battery for like 3 or 4 months. They were still having the regular S, just had like a 90 battery, and if you wanted 100, you had to pay for the performance. Then that changed at the beginning of 2017.
Yeah. Real quick, we had another $5 super chat from Brian Overman. Thank you very much. Said, guys, what are your thoughts on the FSD visualizations on the Model S? I think there's a lot of wasted space.
I think, we haven't, unfortunately, we still don't have the beta. So we don't have the beta, so it's
It's non-beta FSD visualizations we have.
Oh.
Now, I've seen some of the FSD beta visualizations, and I think there's even more wasted space there. I don't like how the speed and everything was on the bottom. I want that on the top.
Yeah.
I think there's still some work to do.
I liked it better before the most recent update, I'll say that. But again, we were talking about that earlier. We don't have the full self-driving beta yet, so maybe it'll make more sense, maybe it'll look better. But I still think that they should have some way to allow the driver to adjust like font sizes and stuff like that, just so
100%.
Because on your cell phone you can adjust the font size and make it so it's more readable. And when you're driving, you don't want to have to look down and take the time. As you're older, it takes longer to focus, and you shouldn't have to focus, or you shouldn't have to search the screen for it. It should be instantly visible.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's still some work to do to it, but I think they're probably heading in the right direction. I just want to see a little bit of tweaking. Somebody said, when will people get their roadsters? Hopefully 2021.
Hopefully. I mean, there was supposed to be the 2020 Roadster, I believe.
It was.
But it didn't happen, so hopefully 2021.
Let me see. Is it still on their website?
Oh, yeah. And we check our, it's still, they still show up in our accounts, so...
Roadster?
Yeah.
Hold on. I just want to make sure it's not going to, automatically put in my credit card info and email and, dox myself.
Oh, is that for the... You still have to do, a 50,000.
Yeah, if you do a base roadster, it's 50K within 10 days. If you do a founders, it's a 250K within 10 days. Let's see. It doesn't say when production is supposed to start. Let me go to this page again. So all the year seems to be removed.
Yeah. Well, hopefully 2021, not 2022.
Yeah.
Because that was 3 years ago. That was 2017, right? In December.
I'm not going to lie. That was probably
pretty impressive.
One of the best Tesla events I've been to, because I got to go for a ride.
Yeah. But when we first started out with the semi, and then when the semi thing was over, it was like,
one more thing.
There's supposed to be something else. And then they pulled the semi around, dropped the back, and the Roadster came out.
And the funny thing
is, amazing.
When we saw those two semis, or at least you were further away from me. I was kind of in the front. I saw those two semis and was like, one of these doesn't look quite like the other.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started seeing it pull away, I noticed the back was not a typical semi. It was a drop back. And as soon as I saw that, before they even did their thing, I was like, wait a minute. And I was talking to the people next to me. It was so much fun. God, I love that event. It was a great event. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's something I see Elon's brains talking about $250,000 in Tesla stock is a better investment. Yes, it is, and I really feel sorry for people because back then, if they put a deposit down there, if they would have instead put $250,000 down in Tesla stock, they would be multimillionaires today. I mean, it's just.
So I actually have a video on that, and I've been reprimanded by my accountant. I have been told not to do stuff like this anymore. But basically, don't buy your car in cash. Just don't do it.
Yeah, because
then your accountant will be pissed, and that's all that stuff. Hopefully, he's not watching.
It's easier to write it off if you have a monthly payment versus whatever.
But like the video, I break everything down in big detail. But if my first Model S and a couple other cars, weird flex, I know, sorry, I paid cash. I paid cash just for the car, just so I could own it outright, because I don't want to have a payment. But at the same time, if I would have taken that cash and bought Tesla stock, I would have lots and lots of money.
Yes.
I go over it in the video. It should be out. It might be Monday next week, but not tomorrow Monday, in a week plus a day. But it's kind of sad to think about, so I try not to, but listening to the accountant from now on. Jameson, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said, Happy New Year. Love all your vids. Thank you, Jameson. Really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody, actually. Let's make 2021 a good year. Let's do it. Wow, sorry for the rant. Okay, where was I? Lots and lots of messages. Sorry. Hopefully, I'm trying not to miss anybody's messages, but if I do, just put it back in chat. Battery Day said small yield on the new batteries, not no yield. Good call.
Yeah.
And they're going to ham on production in their test factory alone. And see, it's like they need to literally, if anyone's watching this at Tesla, please do a limited number, 200 a month or whatever.
It, yeah.
And I mean, you could even list them at like 200K. People would pay that. Not me.
A few,
people would pay that to own like
the first one.
Literally, before you get everything up and running, make those like one of 2,000, or like give them special placards of what number they are, and like the
Founders
first 2,000.
Series.
Exactly. Like do something like that. It's a great way to increase revenue because you can charge more for those cars. People will pay that, and hopefully somebody that pays it will let me borrow it so that I can test it. I think that a lot of cars do that. I think it's a great idea.
We've seen videos though. Tesla's released video of the 4680 production, and it's all like looks automated now. They churn out tons of cells, and so if those are running, whoever knows how many hours a day, they could definitely handle limited production for a certain number of vehicles per month.
Yep. Yeah. Dan Randall said, would FSD subscription get me the Autopilot 3 hardware computer? I have Autopilot 2.5 right now. I would assume yes, because without it, you don't really get a lot. The only thing is, I don't know, and this is one thing we kind of went into a little bit more depth on one of our FSD videos.
Back, yeah.
Is we don't know if you have 2.5 right now. Are they going to have you subscribe for a minimum term to get that computer?
I think they need at least a year's subscription, or you'd have to prepay, a couple $1,000s or whatever just to get that hardware upgrade. Because like I said, if you only have 2.5, you're not going to get any of the extra visualization, so it wouldn't make as much sense.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and I mean, that's one thing too that I'm kind of looking at is on the future vehicles, we go through our Teslas fairly quick. We have a YouTube channel. Everyone wants to see the newest Teslas. So I feel that. Depending on the price of the subscription, I might not buy FSD.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
I could see going forward. For cars we already have, well, we'll see.
It's too late now.
Well, you can probably change it before delivery.
Oh, yeah.
So
for
hopefully,
the orders,
hopefully before our next delivery, they come out with the subscription option. And yeah, definitely, for the cars we've already purchased, when we bought them, we thought we're going to keep them forever. But the way they keep coming out with new models and stuff like that, we've upgraded a little more often than most people probably would. So a subscription would probably make more sense for us or for people who lease cars.
Yeah, exactly. I see some conversation about Ys versus 3s. But yeah, I agree with Rich. It's basically what works best for your needs. They're basically the same car, just Y is a little bit bigger. Doesn't get you quite the same range, but it still gets you a lot for the money.
Yeah.
Personally, if I had a 3 and a Y sitting in front of me, I would go for the Y 9 out of 10 times. The only other time I really like the 3, again, mine's heavily modified, but I love driving the 3. It is so snappy. The Y is also, and if you did the same mods to the Y, I'd probably actually prefer the Y. But it's just so snappy. And that car's dropped so much. It's like riding on rails. I turn it and it goes. Absolutely love it. Let's see. Michael said, give us driver customizable UI Tesla.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about with the fonts or maybe color schemes. And even if they don't make it totally customizable, they can have
at least
couple
options.
Different themes.
Exactly. Themes, exactly.
So that they choose it, but you can have a few to choose from.
Yep. And then let's see, Norstead said Roadster needs the 4680 cells to be built. I definitely agree with that. So could it just be the Roadsters will be delivered sooner than later with those test run batteries? Maybe. I could see that. So we just really want our Roadster.
I'm just towards the end, but Michael's asking, does it make sense to keep updating? And again, most people I don't think need to keep upgrading Teslas. Like, I'm still 100% satisfied with the 2017 S100D, almost 4 years old. It'll be 4 years old in 2 months, but it's almost the equivalent car of like a 2020, maybe even the current 2021 Model S. The only difference is it has a little bit less range and the air suspension isn't quite as good. But other than that, I have the new computer, the MCU2.
Yeah.
I have the full self-driving hardware 3 for autopilot. It originally came with 2, but we upgraded it. We upgraded the repeater cameras, so it's virtually a 2021 car, and it was a lot cheaper just to pay for those upgrades than to get a brand new car. Now, that's why we're eagerly looking forward, though, to the new refresh. If it's going to be a major rebuild, then, then we'll see about getting that. But again, most people probably don't need to upgrade. And the cool thing, though, is for people who do upgrade, those used cars are available, and they're a lot cheaper than what we paid for.
Definitely. Yeah. Currently, we're at 12 Teslas and counting. We have, how many cars do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the garage, yeah.
5, 6.
Wait.
7. We have 8 cars.
On the account, right?
On reservation.
Because there's 4.
Reservation.
And then we have another.
Yeah. So we have 4 Roadsters, 2 Cybertrucks,
Well, that's
2
just your
S's.
account.
I know 4 Roadsters between.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, you combined those already.
So we have 8 cars. We're still waiting on delivery.
Yeah, but we're not going to take delivery of 2 S's and
at least one S.
and only one Cybertruck. So, but the cool thing is that we have those in there. But just again, for those who don't know, when the Cybertruck was first announced, they said that the dual motor version was coming out first. So we immediately ordered that while we were standing in line for the test drive of the Cybertruck. Then later on, we're like, wait a minute, what if they release the triple motor one instead? Because that's going to be more expensive. So we ordered a second one.
And now it says that's going to be first.
And so we'll be set as long as they don't come with a rear-wheel drive one, which won't happen as the first vehicle.
But see, like, part of me wonders if I should just get both Cybertrucks and just rent one out.
I don't know. We've had that discussion before.
We've had that a lot.
The nice thing about Cybertruck is since it is stainless steel, maybe it's a little bit more resistant to dents and stuff like that. Whereas with the other Teslas, I don't think I would trust somebody driving it. I'd be too scared of dents.
If I buy a Tesla to rent out on like Turo or something, I never want to drive that Tesla.
Yeah,
I never want to drive it. I honestly, if I can have Turo handle everything, I don't even want to see it because I'm afraid I'm going to look at everything and be like,
The other thing too, I guess too, what's the price difference between the 2 motor and the 3 motor one? Because
it's like 10,000, I think.
Oh well, I mean, if it's that close, then maybe you should just get 2 triple motors.
I'm down. Let's do it.
But I mean, with that, because you could park it. We got a room to park it in the front, but it's like, or if it's rented out all the time, I think that would be quite a popular car to rent out. So maybe we'd never see it if it was rented out all the time.
And see, that's kind of what my thing is. Hold on.
Woohoo! Thanks, Dan.
Wow, we're gonna run out of confetti today. Dan, thank you for the $25 super chat. Said, hey guys, happy new year. Do you think Tesla will have an app store for 2021? Keep up the great content. Thank you so much, Dan. And thank you so much for the support and super chat. I think an app store is a brilliant idea. Yeah. One, it can allow a lot more apps and stuff from people wanting to add their own content to there. And if an app needs to be paid for, Tesla can make some extra income that way from really creating just like a sandbox. They can make money.
And Elon had mentioned it years
I think
ago
it's a
that they
great
were going to
idea.
have that, but then nothing ever developed. And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. It's like I can understand for security reasons they want to keep it isolated, but they could create like a sandbox or something that makes it so that you have very limited functionality that would be available to whoever does develop those apps.
And I don't think a sandbox is too far out of the question. I don't think it should be that hard for them.
The good thing is Tesla is adding like the media. I really like how
Yeah.
they've added the entertainment options with Netflix, and they have a few others. And you can get to some other sites via links and stuff. But I wish they had some other clients for like TikTok and some of these other things, just so it'd be easier to watch those while we're like supercharging.
Yep, definitely. I seen some people responding to my comment earlier about paying cash for the car if you can versus not. I think my numbers are gonna make you realize that maybe you shouldn't pay cash.
Well, interest is so low. Back in the day when
Interest
the
is
S was
low
out,
and-
it was like 1% or
Exactly.
1.5%. So it was like it doesn't really cost that much to get a loan. And also, if something happens, you still would have that money in the bank, and your payment, the interest doesn't really cost you that much. And so that's why we financed the last few vehicles we bought. I think the 2Ys and.
Yep.
And 2018, the 3 and stuff like that. But so we financed the last few vehicles, but.
I mean, definitely based on things, you'll see my math, like, I could have made a lot of money if I didn't pay cash.
Yeah, because we could have taken that money and put it into stock instead.
Exactly.
It's really, I mean, like we said, we've bought 12 cars, we've bought 12 cars over the last, 5 years, 12 Teslas, and less than 5 years. And if we had instead put some of that money into the bank or into Tesla stock and left the money there instead of paying cash, we'd probably be multimillionaires by now. Or at least with Tesla stock. With Tesla stock, we'd have to sell it to actually get that money. But I would have sold a little bit of it.
A little bit. Let's see. Some people saying, do we think the Q4? Sorry, doing some math. Do you think Q4 numbers will get revised? Press release mentioned a 0.5% variance. I mean, it's very well they could.
Yeah, but they
this
still
is
got
just
really
like
close.
the prelim numbers.
Yeah, it's really close,
So,
but I mean, I don't want them faking the numbers or fudging them and like, we got 500,001. It's like, no, if 499, 550 is still pretty good for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled with that number still. So I'm happy with it. I think it did great. They accomplished the building over 500,000. I think it was like 509,000 or 510,000, something like that. So I'm still super proud of what they've been able to accomplish. And if you work for Tesla, thank you.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people who took delivery in the last few days. They did give free supercharging, and I heard that that's starting to show up on some accounts. So some people got a little bonus. It would be nice if they did that for everybody in the last few weeks or whatever instead of just the last 3 days. But I guess it's good for the people who got it.
Yeah. We had some people say it's Monday in Sweden and Monday in Australia already.
Hey.
Thank God it's not Monday, because then I got to go to work. Here we are. Let's see. Do you think the reason you aren't in the FSD beta program is because you have a Model 3 race car? Obviously, they would want to put it on your Y or S. Could the 3 be a factor? I don't think so, Rob. I actually dealt with headquarters in the 3. What was that? Several months back.
Over the summer.
Over the summer, when I got FSD in retrofit because I had paid for full self-driving, they had to do a little bit of talking with headquarters to make sure everything was legit, because the local Tesla was a little nervous about taking a whole computer out on a car that had that many modifications and racing seats, because there's also that error code. But everything was totally cool. So I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, and we have...
There's no one technically in Colorado with it yet, though.
Yeah, we have... So in our garage, we have 3 of the 4 cars have the full self-driving computer.
Yep.
So they're all able to do it. And we have a 4th car in our fleet in the local area. It's got full self-driving as well. None of those 4 out of 5 cars have it. And as Eric said, I heard they offered it at somebody in Colorado.
I think it was a joke. I think it was a joke.
Okay. Well, I heard they had offered, but he didn't have a capable car. It didn't have full self-driving, so maybe that was a joke. But yeah, it seems like it's regional. It's a very limited region so far. We definitely understand that they did it in California, and the majority of people are there. But they have done it in a few other places. But they tend to be Tesla owners clubs, around the country.
Yep.
Very limited locations, though.
Yep. Somebody said, when do we think the Made in China Model Y updates will make it to the U.S.? It's a good question.
What are the other Model Y updates again?
Ooh, heated steering wheel.
Okay,
3 and Y.
yeah,
and then both of the 3 and Y have the new side doors.
Yeah.
And then both
So that's okay. So that's not just the 3 then.
Y have the new center console, but the Y in the U.S. has the old center console. I would probably say, I think it has to be January. I think it has to be on cars being built now.
Sometime in the first quarter. Yeah, because it would be odd to have people getting it in one region gets one car. I mean, definitely going to use up the rest of the parts they have, but hopefully they would switch over sometime in the first quarter.
Yeah. Let's see. Oliver said, picked up my 2021 Model 3 SR Plus on December 20th. Congratulations. Thank you for helping with the 499,550 delivered.
Wow.
What a ride it's been so far. First EV and car purchase. Wow, that's an awesome first EV and car purchase. Hopefully you're loving it. Sounds like you are. You used lots of exclamation points, and we like this. But congrats again. Let's see. Where are we now? Oliver, same guy who picked up his SR Plus, said owned Tesla stock for a year and a half before I decided to get the car. And that's actually, I've noticed it seems to be people that have invested in Tesla are now finally buying a Tesla. And some of them are using their profits to do so. So if that is you, awesome. Although, to be honest, I'd probably leave that in Tesla stock. I think it's going to keep going up. Let's see. Jameson said good night. Good night.
I think he's long gone. That was like...
Oh, that was...
10 minutes ago.
Oh, 10 minutes ago.
So,
well,
bye.
Bye. Let's see... Trying to find some messages that we haven't answered.
A couple of people saying how it's easier to get into like a Y versus a 3. That's another benefit.
Oh yeah, because the height.
Or kind of with an X, it's going to be easier to get into than an S.
Mm-hmm. We have a great question from Useless Item Quest. What started your guys' love for Tesla? I mean, I loved Tesla back with the Roadster, but it just wasn't a car that would work for me. At the time, at least.
Yeah.
And it was awfully expensive. Not something at the time I could have afforded anyway. But I think the biggest thing is I've always liked being more self-sustainable. I've always liked the idea of an EV. It's just no other company attracted me to an EV like Tesla has.
And I started looking years ago. So basically, my last car before Tesla, I had a 1997 Honda CR-V, which I bought new. And I was, I made a goal that I was not going to upgrade my car unless I got a certain percentage in miles per gallon. And I kept looking for hybrids, like EV hybrids. And over the years, I was looking like the Mitsubishi Outlander and it kept getting delayed coming to the United States. And every other hybrid either was delayed for years, or it came out and had like a 17-mile range. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. And so then I started looking at I guess I was watching Tesla for a long time, but it was way out of my price range, way out of my league, until they came out with the S70D. And I was like, wow, they lowered the price on that, was a lot more affordable. Still not cheap, but the 70 was like, it had a little bit better range than the 60 or the 40, if anyone remembers that. But that's when I first started looking at, and then started saving up for that. And that's like, wait, the 90 was not that much more. So I went ahead and my first one was the S90D. And that was back in 2016. We both ordered the S90D at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved the idea of EVs, but I mean, no one really built an EV that was like, hey, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Yeah. And
it's just like they showed the world that EVs don't have to be slow, sluggish.
And they can beat any gas car out there.
Exactly.
And
I love that.
And the cool thing is we can power them all ourselves because we have solar energy.
Yep.
And as you saw, we've produced more solar than we've taken from the grid this year.
Yep.
And that's with charging the house and all of our cars.
Yeah. The official Justin Wong said, curious, after performing a 4-wheel alignment, does the car need a steering angle, a reset, or some sort? I've never had to do that. I've always had it just be fine. So I don't, I don't think you need to do that at all. I've never heard of it needing to be done. Let's see. Hockey Day said, renting a performance Tesla with that being wrapped around a tree. Yeah, got to be careful renting a car because I don't want one of ours being rented and crashed.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
That's what scares me.
That's what I worry about. Even if you have a separate car that you're only going to use for Turo or something like that, you don't want to lose out on that income stream. I guess if somebody does take it out, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And like that's kind of the thing is with my 2021 goals is renting out a Tesla going to help me accomplish that potentially, but it also could cost me a ton of money. Or
time,
lost
or
revenue
whatever.
and time.
Yeah,
I mean time is money.
There's insurance.
Exactly.
And if the driver caused it, or then you would.
It's just a hassle.
It'd be a
and
hassle.
time.
Yes.
So it's like, is renting out a Tesla going to help me achieve my 2021 goal? If it is not, it's probably not something I should do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Cybertruck would be a safer bet. But yeah, Rob said I'd like to see a Tesla app to include the vehicle charging options. Do you think that's realistic? Of course. I think it's a great idea.
That would be nice.
How many times have we run out to the garage to change how fast the cars are charging because we'll adjust the amps based on the solar to make sure that we're getting everything from solar.
That'd be cool. And we've made some requests to Elon, and he's added some of those features, but it would still be nice. I know a lot of people who have solar would like it so that when you're charging the car, it's like, well, I don't need it to charge at 40 amps during the day if you could, which is about 10 kilowatts or whatever, but it's just like kind of follow the sun so that it don't exceed it so that I'm not pulling from the grid. But it would be nice too, like used to be for updates, you had to go out to the car to install the update. Now you can do that all remotely from the app. So yeah, it would be nice if you could just set the amps and start, schedule the start time or the end time or something like that from the app. I know there might be a safety issue. Maybe the reason they don't do that is because if you are charging at say 40 amps and it detects some wiring issues, or some overheating issues, it'll bump it down to like 75%. And they don't want people being like, oh, now it's only 7, and then they might try bumping it back up. And so if you go out there, then you go and you would maybe see that the air light on your wall connector is flashing red or something like that. So that might be one of the reasons why it's not available remotely. There are third-party apps out there that do allow you to set all this up. So if something that you could consider using, you might have to pay a subscription fee. We don't use anything like that because we have a normal schedule, so we just schedule them all to charge overnight. But I can definitely see that as a feature that a lot of people would be interested in.
Welcome Kit to the chat, and he's gone.
Just checking in.
Just checking in, making sure we're still here. Michael said, can't wait to see Neo stock hit Tesla status. I'm going to be Uncle Scrooge rich. LOL.
Wow.
You and me both. I still have not investment advice. Let's just clarify that. I do still have my Neo position, and I don't really see it going anywhere. It's been a little bit of a bumpy ride, but I think overall, I think Neo's a good option.
Yeah, but Eric when we were in China, in Shanghai back in 2019. It was September 2019. We went and saw a Neo store, got to see the Neo. Which one was that? I don't remember the model we saw.
I don't either.
It was nice. It looked kind of like the Mitsubishi Outlander, but it was a nice SUV, and I could definitely see they had some potential. And Eric, at the time, recognized that, and he bought some stock, and at the time, I think it was like $3.
It was like under $3, I think.
And now it's like $50, so that was definitely a good investment.
Good investment. But also, like, I was impressed with the Neo, and I know it's gotten really good reviews out there. I still think some of the things they're doing is kind of crazy. But I think some of the things Tesla is doing is kind of crazy. So overall, I agree with it. That's the thing, though, is I don't really invest in companies that I don't really believe in. And I don't short any stock. It's not really my jam. I don't want... It's kind of my... It's like my thing. I don't want to invest... Because shorting stock is basically betting the company's going to fail. And I would rather put my money on companies I believe will do well.
Yeah.
Than
shorting is kind of like gambling or something like that. But we're not doing that. We're trying to support companies that we believe.
Exactly. Yeah. I've dabbled in some options, and some of them. It was a while ago. Some of them were that the price was going to fall, and that's kind of long gone. I haven't done any of that since. I think I'm good now. I just go with.
I think you skipped this one, but Jonathan Melendez was saying, when do you think we'll get the full 2 fire emoji?
Oh,
update?
2 fire!
And I'm hoping that it'll be in January.
I'm hoping January.
If he thought it was going to be out in December and it didn't make it, then gives them another month. The next like Scrum cycle or whatever is probably 3 or 4 weeks. That I think we'd be seeing that by like week 4 of January.
Yeah. Samuel said, "Did you see the new cameras for all 4 cars?" What do you mean by new cameras?
I didn't see that yet.
Can you let us know in chat
Yeah.
what you mean, Samuel? What new cameras? Now I'm really curious.
The only thing I saw was that the only thing we saw was that S and X would be getting that new selfie cam or whatever. But it's interesting if they're changing the other cameras as well.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see if they could be upgraded like we did with the S repeater cameras.
Yep. I believe it's pronounced Aria. Alan. Sorry if I got it wrong. Got my Model Y December 20th. Awesome. I hope you love it. Welcome to the Tesla family.
And Ariel asked too, what was the car before the Tesla? I had, like I said, 1997 Honda CR-V, so it was like 19 and a half years old.
It was an oldie, but a goodie.
Because again, I made the dedication that I will not upgrade my car until I got something that was just amazing better, and I went from a 97 CR-V to a 2016 Tesla Model S.
But I think a very important thing to note also is since you had paid off the vehicle long ago, you still put money aside, like you had a car payment, so you had a
forgot to mention that
good down payment.
I had paid off the car like 15 years earlier, but I still had set up my savings to put that money away. So basically, I was able to. Again, we said don't pay cash for your car, but I had a ton of money in the bank that helped me. I paid like 50-50 or whatever like that for the car. So I got a loan, but it wasn't huge. But Eric's car though before that was like a.
I've had a couple.
Yeah.
Basically, my car right before Tesla was a Ford Fusion hybrid. And I wasn't quite ready when I bought that car. I wasn't quite ready to go full electric because there weren't really a lot of great options. Tesla Roadster or the original S, they were all very expensive kind of for me. So I went with the hybrid option and I loved it. I think I got like 44 miles per gallon.
It's pretty good.
It was a nice car. It wasn't without its problems. 2 days into ownership, the whole center screen died. I had to have that replaced. A couple other things. The buying process was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I custom ordered the brand new car and it showed up with the wrong color and wrong options. And the salesman said, sometimes you have to settle. And it's like, you had my money. I'm not settling. So I made them cut me a check right then and there for my money back. And then the big manager called a few days later and was like, so sorry, da da da. Anywho, I got like $5,000 off another one because they offered that to try to save my business. And I ended up taking delivery. It worked out okay, but it wasn't without its ups and downs. But that Ford Fusion Hybrid wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Would I do it again? Probably, because the S at the time was very expensive.
Yeah, and the other electrics at the time, the range was like 60 miles or
crap.
less.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Tyler said, what do we think of Tesla opening Monday morning? Up or down? I'm saying up because, one, we have the great delivery news. We have Shanghai Model Ys starting delivery this month.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's going to be up, but guess what? They were short by 450 cars, and some people are going to see that as a massive failure, even though, they got like 99.9% of the way there. For some reason, sometimes it reacts negatively, even though you can do almost everything right, and then it still fails. Right now, I think it's only down like $1 in like aftermarket trading, but it'd be cool if it shot way up. I mean, last week it was really good because I think on our last chat it wasn't only like 600 something, and it went up to like 705 by the end of the week.
Yeah. Somebody said 0.1% off. By the way, if you want the Tesla tequila, you can see it. It's right here. It's on the shelf.
You can have a virtual.
Right
maybe
there.
We should pour virtual shots for people.
Pour virtual shots for you. That's funny.
I just poured one for Dan. I'll pour one for Dan a little later.
Maybe that could be dangerous. I don't know if that's against TOS. But I was like, maybe certain amount donated. We have to take a shot. That could be dangerous too. Diego said some people are reporting that service center is telling them Tesla will retrofit the pedestrian warning speaker on older Model Ys. More to come by the end of the month. Have you guys heard anything? So I submitted the request and it was denied. I got a phone call saying they're going to have to cancel it because unfortunately right now there's nothing they can do. But I didn't hear anything about the end of the month. I've heard some other people were told that. So hopefully somebody knows something and we can get that working. It needs to work.
All different stories. I saw somebody else said they were told that it was going to be a retrofit and it's $300. I've heard other people say, no, it's never going to happen. It will only happen with cars built since September 2021. So nobody knows yet. You can talk to 10 different people and get 10 different answers.
Yeah. Michael said, for everyone, what will we see first roll off the production line in 2021? Plaid S, Cybertruck, Roadster, or Semi?
I think the Plaid S.
Or the Roadster.
No, I think the Plaid because
No?
we haven't heard anything on the Roadster before the Roadster.
But what if Elon's just doing this and they have like a bank of like 1,000 Roadsters ready to go,
That would
and
be
he's
nice,
just
but I
gonna
don't
call us
think-
up and be like, "Hey guys,
maybe
I'm sending
that's
my
why
jet."
the production line is set down. Maybe
Yeah.
they're actually going to build the Roadster.
Maybe.
Up. I don't think
But
so.
what if like Elon calls us and was like, "Hey, meet up with like my brother. He's there waiting for you with the jet. Hop on,
Yeah.
come to Fremont and
Well, the
pick
cool
up your
thing, we saw
Roadster."
Elon's jet was here over
It was.
Christmas or whatever, and then
Yeah.
he flew off to Maui and to
Yeah.
Lanai. But the cool thing, so I don't think the Roadster is going to come that soon. I think the closest thing is the S, but I would be pleasantly surprised. We haven't heard any news on the Roadster for over almost 3 years, up until like the last month,
Yeah.
where they contacted you and said they would be adding your other Roadster.
Yeah, the second
and then
one.
they contacted me like a month later and said they were going to be adding mine. So hopefully we'll be getting an update on those here in the coming weeks, because my second one still hasn't shown up on my account.
Yeah. Rich said, "Does the fact that Tesla is valued so much higher than any other auto manufacturer make you worried about the correction soon?" I'm not worried about a correction, mainly in part because if you look at the debt the other auto manufacturers have versus the debt Tesla has, and the cash on hand from other auto manufacturers versus Tesla, it puts Tesla in the best position in the world as an auto manufacturer.
Another thing is Tesla is not just an auto manufacturer.
True.
They make energy products. They make solar. They make batteries. They're in so many different things. They do a lot of the production themselves. So they make their own seats. They make their own motors. They make their own computers.
Their
So
batteries.
they're competing against all these other companies. Whereas typical car manufacturers, they just they farm out and get the parts made from other companies and they just slap them together. And even then, a lot of those times, those American cars are built in like Mexico and other countries.
Yeah.
So Tesla, it's one of the most American companies there is, but it's not just a car manufacturer.
Exactly. And I think that's a huge thing is a lot of people misconstrue Tesla as an auto manufacturer. That might be how they started. That's not how it's going. Oh, that would be a great
And
name.
that's why
Anywho,
they changed the name from Tesla Motors years ago.
to just Tesla. But you have the energy storage, you have the solar. There's so much more to Tesla besides vehicles that I think kind of get pushed to the side. But when looking at the valuation, need to be considered. That is a great point. Love it. Let's see. Oh, I just minimized my chat. Bring it back. Yikes. Where'd it go? One moment, please, while I bring back my chat. There we go. Live chat's back. Here we go.
Michael, I don't know where you were, but Michael
Yeah.
Fink said he got solar, a Powerwall, and a Model 3 all in the same month. So congratulations.
that's awesome.
We definitely know how it's like. We didn't get all those in the same month, but it's nice when you can have like a Tesla household like that. It's all integrated. It's cool to be able to see the solar and the Powerwalls in the app, and you can see when your car is charging, you can see how it's affecting your energy usage. So it's nice to have all that together.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone said, "Do you think Tesla is going to achieve a $1 trillion market valuation in 2020? I think you meant 2021. I got you.
Hopefully.
It's cool. What is the current
I don't know.
market cap?
I know it's really high because they showed it like it was almost
let me
all
look
other
this up.
cars combined.
I want to see what it is before I go talking. One moment. Stand by, please. The current market cap is $669 billion.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
I see $1 trillion is no problem.
I could see it being possible. Yeah.
Consider it done.
Do it.
Snap and everything.
Make it
changes.
so.
Yeah. So let's see though. After hours. Where's after hours on here? It's not on. I was looking at just like the after hours.
It was
stock
only down
price.
like $1 last I checked.
Why
After.
doesn't this? What is that? Okay, it's not showing me the after hours. Oh, there it goes. Currently, after hours is down $1.12.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I think
It was
Monday's
interesting.
gonna be a good day.
Yeah, it was interesting though on Friday because the stock was way up for most of the day and then it went down, but then it went back up to $10. But it was up like $25, $26 at one time. So it's nice to see those. But it'd be nice if it had stayed up $26.
Yeah. Ryan said I had the best flat tire experience from the app. I had a tow truck to me in 45 minutes with a loaner wheel. Goodyear Eagle tire and had a replacement tire put on at my work 2 days later.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Love it.
Fortunately, on Eric and my cars, we haven't had any problem with flat tires where we've needed to call roadside assistance. When I did take delivery of that S90D back in 2016,
I think you were just jinxed on that car.
I know, yeah. So I had like a low pressure warning since the day I drove at home, and we were thinking, well, it's cold out, and we've seen that with. But then our neighbors were redoing the siding on their house down the street, and I got a screw. I had never had like a flat tire or anything in all my life of owning cars, and my brand new Tesla, I got a screw in it within like the first day, and but fortunately we haven't had any problems since. Scott did have a few problems with his S75D. You turned off the lights. There you go. Well,
wrong button, sorry.
Yeah. So Scott did have, he's had a few flat tires in his, but he like hit some pothole and took out 2 tires at once. But
it was bad.
For that one, he did have to call roadside assistance and they towed him. But then there was another time where he had a flat and they came out. We were at IKEA, remember?
Yeah.
And they came out to the IKEA parking garage and they had that spare like you were talking about. And I think, was it that one that was like painted red or something like that?
Yeah, most of their spares are painted red, so it's like
you don't want
to get rid of it as soon as possible because they need that for other cars.
But basically, they were out there pretty quickly. I think it was maybe an hour, and they had him all on the road again. And then he was able to just return that a couple days later. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm cleaning up.
And that's another video we're going to have.
Confetti.
I think that video is coming later this week when we're going to be talking about our service visits and stuff like that over the history of almost 5 years. Well, I guess it's 4.5 years now, but we'll have a video recapping all of our expenses and stuff like that and how much we haven't had to spend on service over the last few years.
Yep. Samuel said he was talking about the picture of like a Model X driving with the cameras on top. It was actually, I think, LiDAR on top.
And I heard about that, yeah.
That could be for a few things. They might be using LiDAR to confirm that the cameras are picking everything up.
And the radar, too.
Missing anything. It could be they're using LiDAR to help train the neural net.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things. I don't think LiDAR is ever coming to a Tesla based on Elon's stance, though.
Because some of the newer radars actually can work almost the same, like point cloud or whatever, as a LiDAR, and so they might just be running the two in conjunction. Because if they're doing a new radar and they're trying to train it or see how it responds, they want to make sure it's seeing the same thing as what LiDAR would be. But yeah, as Eric said, Elon's not a big fan of LiDAR. Since it still uses like the same wavelengths as visual, why not just use visual?
Exactly. Mace is in the chat.
Hey, Mace.
Welcome, Mace. Again, long-time follower.
Long-time follower, yes.
Met up with him way back
Many
in the
years
day
ago, yeah.
in California.
It was probably like 2017 or so.
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago. He said the first car he ever purchased was my Model S. So lucky to have never had this dealership experience.
Oh, lucky him, yeah. I hated trying to negotiate because when I did buy that Honda CR-V back in '97, I went to a few dealerships, and at the time, I was younger, they wouldn't even talk to me. And one guy, I asked him a couple questions like about the radio, and he's like, "Are you going to make a career of this?" I was just asking questions. I was trying to buy a car, and they wouldn't even answer my questions. And so it was so much easier with Tesla. You could place the order online, and you just walk in, and they'll talk with you no matter who you are, and you can place your order. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And we've seen Mace's car. It was very nice. I remember it
looks just like our white one.
Yeah, and he's got like at the time, I don't know if he still has the arachnids on there, but and I know he had added a power. His car he didn't have with like the tech package, so he didn't have the power trunk, I don't think, but he had added an aftermarket on that. So there's all kinds of things he's done with his car. So we know he likes his Teslas.
Yep. Someone said, do you think Tesla will add rear auto emergency braking in V11? Rear auto emergency braking. Yes.
What? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they do, because any safety feature is better than none.
If you say yes and I say no, then one of us will.
We're basically right. Yes. We got it. Let's see. Ryan said, have you heard of panel gap issues with Shanghai assembled cars? No, and actually when I was there, I got to check out some of the first Model 3s in the shops. And actually it wasn't the first, but it was pretty close. And these Model 3s looked impeccable. Like, I loved them. I didn't see anything really wrong with them. They looked great. Even some customer Model 3s that I saw looked great. I think the build quality is actually pretty good. That being said, if I was offered a Model 3 or Model Y that was made in China, I would take it. I would not feel bad about it.
The only
And
thing
I know some people are hesitant on that,
Yeah.
but I have seen them firsthand, so I guess I'm a little bit more confident.
Only thing I don't know about is that I know some of the vehicles they make in China have a different battery chemistry.
Oh, that's true.
And,
That's
and
true.
that's too new. And I know some people. I don't know if the ones that were delivered to Europe or what, but I think that they're not supercharging as fast as other cars, and I think it's because it's a new technology, new chemistry for them.
Got it.
And so Tesla's, I think, being a little bit cautious, and they're charging those batteries differently. And so that's just one thing. They've had years worth of experience with the other batteries that they've used, and so since they've switched over to this new chemistry, they're I think kind of like starting over on that.
So I guess that being said, makes me a little nervous, but overall, like quality issues, like build quality,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I didn't. I was looking for paint nubs, paint swirls. I was looking for all that, and I just couldn't find it. John, thank you for another $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, what do you know about extended Tesla insurance and roadside assistance? I suppose I have AAA for roadside.
Roadster tax money, so he can save on AAA and use that towards his Roadster.
Got it. We're actually pondering the extended Tesla warranty on.
But he's talking about insurance.
But as for insurance, like
That's one thing.
Our insurance includes tow, doesn't it?
It does, and I think we didn't have that. It's not that expensive. I think we left it off originally because the cars that are still under warranty would at least cover that up to a certain distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I think for like the 4 cars, I think it's only like $80 for the year, so it's not a lot. But
As far as like what Tesla offers through Tesla insurance, I don't know.
I wish
they would open it for us.
Yeah, because we were looking at our insurance recently. A couple of years ago, our Tesla insurance was really quite cheap. It was, I mean, I was paying like $600 a year to insure my S90D. The rates have gone up. They've now up to like $1,200 or something, which is twice as much as was 2 years ago. But then I see some people in California saying they're paying $500 a month, and I'm complaining about like $1,200 a year. So I don't know, but it's always good to shop around for insurance. But
it seems like a lot of insurance is cheap for the first year or two because they grab you, and then they jump up the price. So keep that in mind.
But I don't know about AAA. I've never had AAA, but I know that didn't you
I've
have
had
that?
AAA.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for getting me AAA. Really appreciate that. And I've had to use it. I used it in Seattle. I've used it here in Colorado, and it was helpful. So all in all, I mean, AAA is not bad.
Yeah. I've never really needed it. I mean, like I said, I have never had a flat tire.
I haven't needed it since I got a Tesla. I'll clarify.
But I mean, with my other cars, I never have needed, knock on wood, I've never had a problem like that. There was one time when I like ran out of the gas out in the middle of nowhere. Fortunately, it was like 5 miles from my destination. I was able to call and somebody brought me some gas. But I have never needed a tow or anything like that. So, oh wait, there was one other tow I remember. But again, that was years ago. So.
Lol. Michael said, back to the energy side, was there talk about a Powerwall 3 which doubled the density of the Powerwall 2 with the same size?
Not yet. I'm looking. There's
the 4680s, maybe?
Yeah. Or even if they put the 2170s in there, it's been years since. I mean, we've had our Powerwalls since like 2018, mid 2018. But the Powerwall 2 came out way before. I think 2017, and so it'd be nice to see something on that. I know Tesla can sell every Powerwall, that they get an order for, and they're like month delays. Hopefully they're getting caught back up on that. But it would be nice to see something in like the same form factor, but with a lot more energy in there. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Powerwall has like 13.5 kilowatt hours, which is a lot smaller than a car battery. Like the Model 3 or Y might have like about 75 kilowatt hours, and like the long range S and X is maybe like 100 kilowatt hours. So a Powerwall itself is a lot smaller than a car battery. So while we do have 4 Powerwalls in our garage, if you multiply that out, it's only going to be like 52 kilowatt hours, and that's still less than like the S75 battery. And so we do. The cool thing is that we identified an issue a year and a half ago, and we tweeted Elon saying, hey, can we have some integration? Because if we're charging our cars and the grid goes down, we don't want the car to drain all the Powerwalls. It's nice that it can still charge our cars at level 2 speeds, with 240 volts, but we don't want to drain the power walls if we want to power the house during an extended outage. And Elon said, good idea, coming soon. And they came out with a feature that lets you, in the app, specify how much power wall power should be saved, and in a case of an outage, that you can make it stop charging your cars, and then they'll resume at a later date. We should do a video on that someday, because we've seen that kick in sometimes when the power has gone out and the car will stop charging or will slow way down, and then when the power comes back on, it will come back up.
Yeah.
But definitely would be nice to have higher capacity power walls in the future.
100%. John, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said USAA is $127 a month for Tesla insurance for military. That's a great deal.
Oh, and
how do I sign up for that? Or wait, no, actually, that's about what we pay now.
But we're not in the military.
I know, but that's about what we pay now.
Yeah, but
if you math it out.
Yeah.
Because
it's pretty close. Yeah. Oh, but you missed. Dan had another.
Dan just did another super chat. Thank you for the $10, Dan. And super chat from John, thank you for the $2. Said, do you guys have any good Sentry mode stories? I get much attention with my Model Y, with people taking pictures, looking inside, etc. Yes, and so we originally were looking at doing some Sentry mode stories, and we're going back to that. I have a really funny one with my Model 3 race car in Vegas, involving some drunk people. It was funny. I thought he was going to pee on the side of the car. So that'll be out soon. But if any of you guys have... Let me make sure I get the email address right. If any of you have any good Sentry mode stories, videos that are yours, I have to clarify that. You can't be sent ones from other people. Email it to teslacam@yahoo.com. I know it's a Yahoo, but anyway, email it to teslacam@yahoo.com, and you'll probably be featured in a future episode.
Yeah, but we always like to save dash cam clips and stuff, because we'll see people waving at us like crazy when they drive by, or when they walk in front of the car, people checking it out, or if
give
the lights
thumbs
flash.
up and stuff.
So we have a lot of videos. We'll save those. And one thing though, speaking of Sentry mode, one time when we were at IKEA again. I stayed in the car. Eric went to pick up or something. He came back, and for some reason, he set off Sentry mode while I was in the car.
Oh my God, you jumped so high because it started blaring music.
And I didn't know how to shut off, because it shouldn't have gone off, because I was in the car with the key fob, and somehow I think I clicked to unlock or something, or you clicked to open it at the same time, and Sentry mode did not deactivate. I don't know why it was on, because I was sitting there watching something on Hulu, and Sentry mode went off, and it was... The horn wasn't so bad, but everybody's looking at us. But man, I think the volume was so loud. It's like I almost went deaf there. But it took me 2 seconds to shut off. But that was 2 very long seconds.
It was funny. I think we're beat. G8DHPDX said, I got a 2021 Model Y a few weeks ago. It is my 15th Tesla.
Oh yeah, wow.
And I'm going back to a Model X. Any idea? Where's the best place to list it? I currently have it listed on Portland Craigslist. Email me, admin@teslainventory.com.
We've
because we're revisiting the idea again of creating a Tesla marketplace.
A lot of people requested that.
2021 is going to be dope.
So I think we're going to start listing some cars. Plus, we might have a car or two of our own to be listing, so might throw those up on there. But it's something too. We could list it to you on our site and.
So just send an email to admin@teslainventory.com. I'll get back with you. We'll get it listed. Love to help. Somebody said, when do you think the Model Y is going to get the interior update like Model 3? I would say hopefully
this quarter,
January, this quarter. I'm going to speed round some questions real quick to get caught back up. Michael said, thoughts on snow chains versus snow tires for local driving? Snow tires. Snow chains have a very high likely of scratching your rims, so I would avoid them.
And you don't
if you can.
And you don't drive those unless it's really bad that you need to put chains on.
Exactly.
Where snow tires, you can leave those on
throughout all winter.
Yeah.
So I would avoid the chains and go tires. Mace commented he added the power frunk now too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Also has a plaid on order, so we'll go from an S75D rear wheel drive to plaid.
Oh wow, that's gonna be a great upgrade. And the range, he's gonna be able to go more than twice as far.
When we get our Roadster and come out to California, we'll hit you up and you can check out the Roadster too. Give you some rides in that. But man, if you're gonna go from an S75 rear wheel drive to plaid, that's a doozy. But awesome. I'm glad that it's still treating you really well. Let's see. Trying to see what questions we haven't answered so I can get caught back up. Wow. Okay. Got another super chat. I'm waiting for it to show up.
Ryan, yep.
As soon as it shows up, we'll address it. Come on, computer.
Yeah.
Computer's a little slow. Sometimes the software takes a second.
Or just read it out.
Let me go down to it. Hold on one second. Your notification is coming, Ryan. Ryan Anderson, thank you for the $5 super chat. Said, when we park, it sets the brake. So is there any reason to set the parking brake by pushing on the shifter?
Not really.
In case of emergency, like
Yeah, but he's talking about when you're parked. If you're parked.
No, he said when we park, it sets the brake.
Yeah, he said, so is there any other reason? Well, so you don't have to push it again to set it because it's already set.
I mean,
if
yeah,
you really
not
want,
really.
if you're really concerned, or if you're on a hill, you want to push it and you want to see the little, like, is it red icon?
I think it's like a red icon.
Then it will show it to you, but it shouldn't do any difference. And in the past they used to have extra calipers on the older S. Yeah, I think the S90D had it, but then by 2017 they stopped having those. But the only time, like Eric was just getting ready to say, is about the only time you need to use that park button is for emergency braking. So if your other brake stops working, you can actually use the button to do emergency
Or I think
braking.
the biggest thing is, say your passenger and your driver
That's another one, yeah.
becomes incapacitated. I know we had some friends who the husband was prone to seizures. And so he would be able to kind of feel like one was coming on. And it was a great option for them because if he felt one was coming on, he could bring the car to a stop and either press and hold that or whatever, and it brought it to a stop. So there's some pros and cons to doing it that way. It's just a nice, like, extra feature.
But and it's something that is accessible from the passenger seat as well. Whereas some older cars, the emergency brake was like either a lever you had to pull up or an extra like pedal or something like that. So this is nice that it's right there on the stock.
Yeah. Real quick, some insurance prices. Someone has a 2017 Model S, $900 a year, on with his Performance Model Y. I believe it's Performance. Anyway, on with his Model Y, correct me if I'm wrong, with his Model Y is $76 through Progressive. USAA, $95 a month.
So yeah, we should do some price shopping again because ours was pretty good for a while, but then the last couple of years it's just gone up, and we do have 4 cars on the policy now. So if we sell one, then we'll go back, cut it by 25%. But
yeah. So Steve brought up some good points. Insurance prices determined mostly by territory, age group. Males under 25 in the home will kill your rates. Don't have a problem there.
Not anymore. Yeah.
And your credit rating, all have great credit. Most other factors don't matter much. So maybe it's territory?
Well, Colorado does seem to be more expensive because when I lived in Kansas...
Oh, the hailstorms last year too.
When I was in Kansas, there was my insurance was like nothing compared to when I moved to Colorado, and then it like tripled or quadrupled. So, but that was many years ago. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we did have we've had a lot of major hailstorms in Colorado over the last few years, and we do know someone whose Tesla was like totally demolished. It actually got totaled from the hailstorm. He was able to get the car, and he got it fixed with the money he got for it, but it can be expensive to fix a Tesla, and I think that's what some of the insurance companies, they're having to pay out a lot, so they're starting to raise the rates on Teslas.
Jonathan said he's paying $60 a month for his Model Y with Allstate, and they have 2 other cars for a total of $200 a month.
Yeah, that's pretty good, because I think our most expensive car of the 4 is the Model Y, because it's almost brand new. It's about 6 months old, I guess. But like the other cars, which are almost 4 years old, they're not that much cheaper, but they are cheaper than the Y.
John said we're going to have a backyard full of Teslas for sale. We're going to start our own Tesla lot.
Yeah, put them
line them up along the driveway. Our neighbors would think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Robert said, what's the longest you've ever stored your Tesla? How did you manage the battery during that time? The Performance Model 3.
Yeah.
It was sitting in Japan for 6 months.
At least, yeah.
Due to when the pandemic hit, nothing was being shipped out. And during that time, we just basically had it set to, I think it was like 60% battery, and then they would top it back up once it hit like 20%, and we had no extra degradation on that car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ideally, if it can be indoors out of the elements, that will help it a little bit. As long as it's not like super cold. If it's like in Florida or whatever, I don't think it's really going to matter much. But too hot or too cold can use up a little bit more battery. but you don't want to charge to 100 and just leave it to let it drain itself. That's not great. What was it? 50 to like 60% is like the ideal range to let it sit.
And we typically because right now I think we have to set to 50, but every once in a while we'll just bump it up to 60 and then if it's not plugged in for a while.
Yep.
And the nice thing too is if you do put it in storage, you don't necessarily have to have 240 volt power or a wall connector or anything. You can just put it with the mobile connector to 120 plug, and it'll just top off a couple miles here and there every few days.
Yeah. Let's see.
The cool thing is, though, we have seen, though, that they have gotten a lot better on, like, the vampire drain. And if you turn off certain features such as sentry mode and the standby for summon, you can leave that car unplugged. And I know that we've left the 3 unplugged for weeks at a time now, and it like, hasn't drained at all, like 1% over, like, a month. Yeah. So they've gotten a lot better on that.
Gary said it's been 10 months now. When are we finally going to see a Model Y diecast?
Yeah, there's no... I don't know.
I'm very disappointed.
I mean, really, especially when they consider they have the Roadster diecast that's been out for a while, and they don't have the Cybertruck or the Model Y. Yeah. I can understand the Cybertruck because it hasn't been finalized yet, hasn't been released, but the Model Y's been out since March.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad. On said, is Sentry Mode going to give my dad a heart attack? Quite possibly. Just be careful and make sure the car is fully unlocked, because I don't know what caused that. Yeah. But it just went off, and it was loud and
weird,
obnoxious.
Again, I was in the car, I had the fob, but I might have clicked lock the door. I was watching Hulu, but I saw Eric coming, and I think I pushed to open the trunk because he had like some furniture or something from IKEA. So I don't know why pushing to open, so I must have stopped out of Hulu, or maybe I used the app. I don't remember, but basically it set off Sentry, and yeah, it could cause a heart attack. In some people.
Yeah. Somebody from Japan is here. And they said, do we have a supercharger at home? I really admire you. Thank you. Super nice. I was actually just in Japan earlier 2021.
About a year ago. Almost a year ago.
At Auto Salon with the Model 3 and hanging out with people in Tokyo. It was a blast. So this supercharger is a real one. It's a display model, but it has all the internal working parts. It's a V2.
So it's really hefty cable. It's pretty heavy.
And then the one in the garage is actually one that I built. I went, found a supercharger, took dimensions, carved one out of foam, did a fiberglass shell over it, took the foam out so we could hide the wiring inside, because Tesla wouldn't sell me one. Yeah. And then once I found this one, I bought it, and I think there's only like 2 of these floating around. And I tried to buy the second one, didn't work out, whatever.
Yeah. But we did a video, we've taken it apart, and you can see all the insides, and it has most of the equipment that would be in a V2 supercharger. So they didn't build up special display units, they just took one off the line and shipped them out to the stores.
Yeah. Roger with the Model Y, he bought our first Model Y. In chat said he has State Farm, pays... Oh yeah. Thank you for the mugs too. Roger and his wife Amy absolutely love them. Said State Farm, I pay $533 for 6 months for $250, $500 deductible, and $500 medical. It was actually higher before that windstorm did $28,000 in damage.
That's crazy.
Yikes. Yeah.
Sorry.
But I guess that's another thing is it really depends on what your deductibles are and what your coverage is.
We have really good coverage too.
Because you can vary your coverage to be very, very minimal. And that'll drop your rate.
That's something we didn't mention, because some people have like bare minimums like 50,000, and maybe they're paying $60 a month. But I think ours is about the same as Rogers, and so maybe that we pay a little bit more. But I think rates are definitely going to be more expensive in Colorado than in Montana, just because there's not as many big cities and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's, if you average it out with the 4 cars, what is it, like 1,500?
A little bit less, yeah.
A year.
It's a little bit less than that, yeah.
So
for 4 cars, yeah. It used to be a lot less, like I said, $600 for each of the S's, but now it's like $1,300, yeah.
Rob said the price of all the die-casts have gone down to $175.
Yeah, we noticed. We made that announcement a couple months ago when they did that.
That's like $375 I could have saved. I paid $250 for each of those.
Because I had the price
alert. I have 5 of them.
Yeah, we did the price alert on one of our... That was back in November, I think.
Crap.
Maybe October. Yeah, it was well back.
You can make up for it, Tesla. Just send me the first Model Y diecast. Yeah. We'll call it even. I'll even pay for the Model Y diecast. Just send me the first one. Let's see. Where are we?
Well, Jonathan is asking again about when we think the Fold 2 fire emoji. We mentioned earlier, but hopefully end of January. sometime in January. We'll see.
Yeah. Roger said Amy's loving the fact that we're using the bugs. We love these bugs.
They're pretty nice.
I can't thank you guys, Roger and Amy, enough for sending us this and the food.
I'm still
it was
eating
all
the
delicious.
The stroop waffles and the salt caramels.
And I ate all of the summer sausage. It
That didn't last
disappeared
long.
really quick. But no, super love you guys so much. Thank you. Rich said, what's the best limited edition thing you've bought from the Tesla store? Let me go get it. Let me go get it.
I know, because he's got so much stuff. Oh, I know what it is. Well, okay, you wait just a second. What are you getting? Are you getting the? Okay, yeah, he's getting the one I thought he was getting, but yeah, it's. Oh look, and Layden's all excited, so she's gonna come and supervise. So here's the big one. It was only on there for like a few hours, I think, or was it a couple days? I don't know. But basically, the Tesla surfboard, because you know what Tesla has to do with surfing? I don't know, but look, the dogs are like checking it out.
For this.
And we live in Colorado. You can't really surf in Colorado, right? So yeah. But also, one of the other things, more recent purchases was the Tesla tequila, which is like a $250 purchase. And, a couple weeks ago we did a taste test on that. And I guess it tastes like tequila. I don't know, because I'm not a big tequila drinker. But we did a taste test on that a while back. So that was very unique. Well, that's actually not that unique. A lot of people got that. But he's got other things like a Tesla lunchbox. And he's got all kinds of stuff yeah, he's got Tesla, but we've got Tesla hard hats. We've got Tesla safety glasses from the factory. If it's got Tesla on it, we probably have it or have considered buying it.
Oh, this is super exclusive. Okay, super exclusive. I have two.
Oops.
I have two of these.
And we have two of these too.
Oh yeah, and I have two puppies. This is Signature. I don't know if you can see that.
No.
This is the cool box. If you had a Signature Model X, you got one of these cool metal paperweights.
Oh yes. Oh, that's the second one there.
So
It's a lot of cool.
yeah, miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was kind of fun. A little bit of show and tell.
That's tricky.
But yeah, you can even see there's dust on.
That was a good question. We haven't gotten that one before.
There's dust all over this box because it's just sitting up there. Kind of fun to have. And yes, two Tesla puppies, Ridgebacks. Absolutely love them too. So the surfboard, it was $1,500. Don't get me wrong, that's stupid. I probably shouldn't have paid that, but they only made 200 of them. And to be honest, they're going on eBay for they're selling for $9,000 to $12,000 a piece. That being said, I'm not planning on selling it, but if someone came to my door, don't come to my door. If someone emailed me and was like, "Hey, I'll give you $12,000 for that," I'd probably sell it.
Yeah. Well, somebody else.
$12,000's a lot of money.
Somebody else brought up the flamethrower, but technically, isn't that from the Boring?
That's
company?
technically Boring Company, and they made 20,000 of them.
Yeah, but we do have one of those too, but it's in the garage. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait till they show their limited Tesla tattoos. Do you want to see it? No, I'm just kidding.
We did
kidding.
a video on that a while
I'm
back.
just kidding. Or am I? Would I get a Tesla tattoo? Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said don't break it. I know. I'm scared I'm going to break the surfboard every time I touch it.
It's
and
still
I'm scared
brand new.
to death of this bottle right here.
Oh, the tequila.
Because it just makes me nervous.
Oh, yeah.
A face tattoo? Oh my god. What? Just Tesla T right here?
Yeah, down your nose, yeah.
Yeah, love it. I can see it now.
Oh, and you can have little icons for one for each of the Model 3s.
Oh, little Tesla icons? Wow. We went deep today.
No.
But yeah, one other question I had. So, this is kind of anyone watching.
Oh.
So, I happen to have this Hardware 3 computer. Wait, time out. May said he's going to get a Tesla tattoo when they hit 1 trillion.
Okay, wow. Well, that might be...
Hey, Mace, I mean...
it might be a few months.
See if we can get somebody that'll do 2 for the price of 1. That would be fun. Anyway, I have this Hardware 3 computer, and I want to take it apart and show everybody what's inside. I want to find the board that Tesla showed during their FSD. Screenshot the message from Mace. Can you do that for
Autonomy Day.
me? Can you screenshot the message from Mace
Oh,
about
okay.
the
Yeah.
tattoo at 1 trillion?
Oh yeah. Got it. Record of
Okay,
that.
sorry. Distracted. Anyway, I want to take this apart, and I was thinking of ways that we could do some more interactive work. So I'm thinking, hear me out. What if we do a live stream where we take this apart, and it might be like a 2-hour live stream, kind of like this, and then we cut it down to like 10 minutes if people want to watch it post. Would you guys be cool with like a live stream taking apart the computer? I don't know. Let me know. It'd be fun. Just some ideas I was throwing out there.
How about an Elon? A tattoo of Elon.
A tattoo of Elon? Elon's face?
Show him your Zune tattoo.
My what?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, you don't remember that?
My what tattoo?
Zune. Back when the iPod...
I don't know what he's talking about,
Okay,
people.
back when the iPod was new, for those of you who remember, some Microsoft came out with their own MP3 player, which was called the Zune, and some guy got like a Zune tattoo, and then Microsoft, the Zune disappeared, and you don't even know what a Zune is.
I know what a Zune is, but
this
I
guy
don't know
had
what
a
the
Zune tattoo.
Oh, that didn't age well.
Yeah.
But I think a Tesla tattoo would age well. John, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said get a Tesla tattoo on your chest. I mean, if I was gonna get it, I'd probably get it like right here. Not gonna lie. But yeah.
I wonder if
Roger said, well, you did say your 2021 resolution was to double your net worth. Sounds like those Tesla goodies were nearly as good as an investment as the stock. I mean,
at least the surfboard,
that
yeah.
surfboard was real good. I mean, $1,500 at the time, I could have done so much more with that. I should price it out.
Yeah.
If I bought
yeah.
$1,500 okay.
The stock was, we'll figure
I'm
that
gonna
out,
do that.
but that will be part of the video. But I bet the stock would have been better investment, but that is still pretty good. You lucked out that it's worth, if you find the right buyer.
Yeah. Roger said Amy wants to help tear that apart since she does IT for work. If you guys live closer, that would be so dope to have some help tearing that apart.
I still wish that he would just like get it working on the bench and.
So the only
stuff like
issue
that.
though is they don't use like HDMI out. There's an HDMI on there, but it doesn't actually send a signal. So you have to get a special connector made, and that's like $600. And that's a lot of money. I think if we take it apart carefully, maybe we'll be okay. Partner up with Dan at What's Inside to take it apart. I mean, I'll send him a message.
We've done other videos.
Let me text
with
him
Dan.
real quick.
Yeah, we've done other videos with Dan.
Talk about a flex check
So
right
back
there.
actually we were just talking about the flamethrower. That's you went through and saw Dan in Utah and
I went out, picked up the flamethrower because they weren't able to ship it. I bailed on a work trip to Sweden so that I could go pick up a flamethrower. That's stupid. Anyway, I did it, and then on the way back, I hung out with Dan at What's Inside, and we made, I think, 3 videos.
Yep, several.
On the flamethrower and blew some stuff up. It was a blast.
And a bit of trivia, we actually invited Dan to his first Tesla event.
Yep.
Back in 2017, we took him to like the Model 3 delivery event. For I believe that was the first one because we've been to a couple of them where we've been to several of them, but we invited him to his first event. Yeah, because my mom was at that one too.
Because there were some videos about him having some issue with his tires, just burning through a lot of tires. So I reached out to him.
Old Model S.
Yeah, I reached out to him and was like, "Hey, let me help you. I have some suggestions." And then, we've kind of been friends since.
Yep.
Super cool family, super cool dude. Really love them. I don't know. We'll do something fun with that though. We need to do something fun. But yeah, let me see. I think that's pretty much it. We've been live 2 hours and 8 minutes now. So we'll probably call it there. It's been a fun one though. I need to figure out when we're gonna take apart that computer because that'll be a great one. But I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If there are any questions you had that we didn't get a chance to answer, sorry about that. Once this video renders through and gets pushed to Tesla to YouTube, definitely drop that comment back there and we will try our hardest to check that out. And also if you my mouse stopped working, sorry, wrong mouse. Again though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor Abstract Ocean. If you are unfamiliar with them, definitely check them out. I'll link down below. They make help all this come to life and really help support the channel. And they have all kinds of fun accessories for SX, 3, and Y. And they even have the new center console wraps. So if you are taking delivery of a new 3, The 2021 3, you can definitely wrap it, keep it protected, make it your own. So definitely check them out. Huge thanks to them. We absolutely love them. We have used all their products far before we were sponsored, and they are simply the best. Customer support, too, is great. So I guess that's it. I guess we'll go ahead and kill the light, cue the light, and that's basically it. We'll see you guys next week, though. Thank you so much for a great live stream. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Really appreciate you all. Bye.